ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we're in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Just looking at this overview of the chapter. So the first section which we completed last week was Karma Yoga, superiority of working in devotion higher than renunciation of work. We did 6 verses from Jnana Yoga. In the last week, we started discussing modes of nature, how they work on different components of the Jnana part. So we discussed 3 components last week. Let's do a quick revision and then we'll try to finish the next 3 components today. Okay, Sundar Gopal Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. So, Prabhuji, in this, basically, the kind of point is being made is that, the so whosoever who thinks himself as the only doer is not very intelligent. So the seer who's seeing himself is not very intelligent as a doer. Again, if we go back to chapter 3, there was one verse where we said Prakrite Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasha Ankar Vimuhatma Kartahamiti Mane. So though Krishna is calling them as Vimudas who think that I am the doer. Basically. So it's kind of the similar reflection here is what my understanding. I wasn't present at the time of the discussion.
Okay, no worries. Also, if you remember the 5 doers, you remember the 5 doers? Maybe Mausa Prabhu or you?
Yes, the 5 doers is explained in 18.13. I think.
Okay.
Yes, that is 13th and 14th. Sorry, it goes to as the place of the action, right? Then the performer, the various senses, then it's the endeavor, and ultimately, even if you have all those things, you need to have the approval of the Lord, the permission.
Yeah. One example, Sundar Prabhu, you can give any simple example which includes all 5.
So simple example, Prabhu, that one of the things that you gave was, even if you're making food, you put everything, you've got all the intentions, the place is correct.
What is Adhishtan there?
So Adhishtan is the kitchen.
Thank you. Karanam?
Karna is your senses are involved in doing this.
Bartan?
The Bartan, yes, the Bartan.
Do we need the instruments? Like Mataji may be present, Bindi may be present, but Bartan is not there.
Bartan is not there.
You can't. So Karanam is
Your endeavor is there. Cheshta is that you're doing the efforts, you're cutting the vegetable, you're putting everything.
Yeah. So with the knife, yeah. So if you have again the first Karta is there, Karanam is there, no chesta. Sabji nahi ban rahi hai. You're standing in the kitchen, you're not doing anything. So if you see step by step, it's so clear, so clear. And Daiva.
Daivam. So
It's
if
just
you do everything, somehow the sabji will get burnt.
And now if the Karta comes and says, I'm the only doer, it looks like you're not giving any credit to Chesta. Like you may be helping the person who's cooking, for example, like in the temple kitchen, so many devotees are helping to the main cook. So definitely Chesta of everyone is involved. Karanam, so many instruments are needed. Without the instruments, even if the Karta was there, how can you take the glory? Without instruments, you can't do it. Now, nowadays, we need too many instruments. People are just buying instruments. And the kitchen is becoming bigger part of the house. Adhisthanam, modern kitchen, this kitchen, that kitchen. So we can't, no one itself can take the glory. And if you take the glories, Krishna is calling you, it's not very intelligent. And saying, Pashyati akrat buddhitvan. Akrat. It's not very intelligent to say that Atmanam Kevalam. Everything has to work out. I heard an example from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Even a terrorist have to place a bomb somewhere. It's a bad example, but they also have to depend on so many right factors. If this goes this way, police is here and this person is here, that person is there, all those things have to go. If sometimes the bomb itself may not work, isn't it? Everything is ready and they will press the button and bomb is not working. So I'm saying no one person can take the credit. No one person. So many things. They also depend on Daiva, he was saying. Daiva has to be correct for them as well to be able to, destroy whatever they want to destroy. They also depend on Daiva. Thank you, Prabhu. Let's go to the next one, 17. Yeah, this is a nice verse. Master Prabhu, you want to do this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So, as in the previous verse, he says, therefore one who himself is only the who considers of 5 times. Okay. So then Krishna goes on to say that, sorry, I'll just read the translation. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is bound by his actions. So Krishna goes on to explain that the first thing that a person should do is that he should not do any activity based on false ego, that is understanding on the bodily platform, okay, which is the associating oneself with the body. Okay. Second thing is, and his intelligence should be fixed in that is buddhir yasya na lipyate. That means the intelligence should be fixed in serving the Lord. Okay, that should be the first, because Krishna, as one of the fifth element, main element is Daivam, right? So one has to understand that it's Krishna who needs to be pleased. So all our activities should be engaged in serving him, and that's our intelligence should be engaged in serving him. Okay, then even if he does anything wrong, right, Krishna will, that activity will not cause him any bondage, although that activity is wrong, right? So that's what he says, the hatva, sorry.
From material platform, although the
From
activity
material
will be very heinous, but still
Yes.
that person will not be bound. Yes, please continue, Prabhu.
So the example that you gave is, say for example, if there is a soldier who has killed so many people in the war, but he happens to kill someone in the civil world, right? Then he will be prosecuted, because the importance part is the purpose, right, and the cause and the reasoning why he is doing that. And above all, there is also an authority that works on it, right? So if a person does it without understanding the authority, right, then he is bound to have that reactions on his actions. Whereas if he accepts the authority, right, and if he does any action based on the authority that is been given by the Lord, then he will not be prosecuted for that.
One example, I remember, that's why you have to choose your authority very carefully as per the Vedic culture. You cannot just choose anyone as your guru, because many people may pose themselves as guru or a spiritual master or very spiritually elevated person, but if you don't choose them carefully, so Viraj Prabhu says, Lalchi Guru, Lalchi Chela, Narak mein dono, Thelam Thela. So because he was a greedy spiritual master, and this was a foolish disciple who accepts who accepted his authority, they're both going to go to hell. So that sort of loyalty is not very wise. So we have to choose our spiritual master or spiritual authority very carefully. And if we follow them appropriately, word by word, then even if something was wrong, they will take care of it. They will take care of it. Okay, very nice. And nahanti, this word is sort of confusing word, nahanti. So in the first one, hatva. Hatva means even if you kill, actually you're not killing. But we cannot just make a verbal statement of this. 18, 17, I kill someone, I kill a jiva and say, okay, I have not killed. No, it's not so simple. You have to live it, not just say it. Thank you, Master Prabhu. 18, Hare Krishna, Rasanand Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yes, sure, Prabhu.
Prabhu, can you explain again the section where it says you kill but you don't kill?
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
though it is
Yeah. So basically, you're killing again on a material level. We are talking. You're destroying a body. But if you destroy a body in the material world, say a human body, I mean, okay, many people kill animals on a daily basis. Nothing happens. At least in the modern day and age. In the previous ages, it was not like that. You remember the example from Ramayana? A dog was disturbed, and dog came to Lord Ram, and you know that story. Okay, I'll just say very quickly. Oh, you don't know? Okay, I thought everyone knows
Prabhu.
that.
Please explain.
Okay, I'll say very quickly. So, in the kingdom of Lord Ram, there's only 2 incidents which is being registered in Shastra where it was not appropriate. And obviously Lord Ram dealt with it. Like only 2 incidents are registered. One was the incident of Shambhu Shudra when he was doing tapasya and he wanted to become Indra. Plus he wanted to take wife of Indra, Sachi Devi, for enjoyment, and Lord Ram had to kill him. So that's one incident which is registered. There's a big disruption. Narad Muni was involved in that incident. I mean, I'll not go there. And the second incident, which is registered in Ramayana as a inappropriate thing, which was done in the presence of Lord Ram, is a dog one day came in the night. So in front of Lord Ram's palace, there was a big bell, and the bell, if it rings, that means someone is in trouble. So anyone could ring the bell if they were in trouble. And Ram Raj, no one was in ever any trouble. Everyone was fully satisfied, happy. But one day, Lakshman was guarding the door, and a dog came, and he was ringing the bell with his mouth like this. So he was ringing the bell, and Lakshman came out. He said, "Oh, after years and years, Lord Ram ruled." Some version says 36,000 years. Now imagine 36,000 years you're ruling, nothing wrong is happening except 2 incidents. That's real Ram Raj. Lord Ram was present. What can we say? Anyway, and these 2 incidents, obviously, Lord Ram sort of made for us to take some lessons from. So this dog came, and Lakshman says, "Hare Krishna, dog Maharaj. So what can I do for you? What has caused you to come in the middle of the night and ring this bell?" And dog said, actually, he said, "I'm very unhappy. I need justice." And Lakshman says, "Sure, justice will be given to you. You're in the kingdom of Lord Ram. Justice will be served." So he said, "What can I do for you?" He said, "I want to meet Lord Ram and not talk to anyone else." He wasn't so much, disturbance. So he said, "It's the middle of the night." Dog said, "That's the duty of the king." Praja is first. So dog was very intelligent. He's a dharmic dog. Why? Kutta bhi hai to dharm ka hai. He's in the kingdom of Lord Ram. Anyway, so Lord Ram was woken up, and the assembly was put in the middle of the night, and the dog came. He said, "My dear king, I'm in big trouble, and I don't expect this to happen in your kingdom." And Lord Ram said, "Sure, you're right. No one should get injustice in my kingdom." And he said, "What injustice has been done to you?" So dog said, "Someone has threw a stone on me while I was hungry and trying to take my meal. And they're not supposed to do that." Lord Ram said, "Okay, yes, agree. So who has hurt you?" And he said, "The person who has hurt me hurts me the most. So that person is not supposed to do this activity." Okay, so who has hurt you? "A Brahman has hurt me." Wow, a Brahman is not supposed to do. Kshatriya maybe, Shudra maybe, but Brahman definitely not. Lord Ram says, "Okay, so who's that person?" So there was a sadhu who did this. So this dog said, "There's an ashram there." He named that ashram. In that ashram, there is a sadhu living there. He threw a stone on me, and his head was bleeding, something like that. So that sadhu was called, and he said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I was just angry at this dog." And when he was trying to take me, I just took the stone and then threw at him. And he said, I accept my mistake. Okay, done. So dog was asked, so would you like to propose a punishment, because you are supposed to be you looks like a very sort of dharmic dog. He said, this is adharma, huh? So dog said, yes, I will give the punishment. So dog, so Lord Ram is there and dog is giving the punishment. The punishment he announced, he said, this person who's like a, you can say a normal brahmachari in that ashram, should make the mathadhish. So he should become the head priest amongst all the priests. And this person is surprised, Lakshman is surprised, Lord Ram is surprised. Is this a punishment or a reward? It looks like a reward, right? You're just one of the member of the society and then you are made the GBC all of a sudden. Is it a punishment or reward? And dog said, it's a punishment. And people asked dog, please explain, Maharaj, how come it's a punishment? He said, in my previous birth, I was also the Mathadish. And I made a small mistake and I had to accept this body. So I want this person also to, because he has made a mistake. The higher you go, the higher you become responsible, karmically as well. Huh? If you are situated in a very high post and if you do some wrong activity, you are held responsible very highly by the nature, may not by the material world. Material world, Prabhupada has made this picture where a judge is standing in front of Yamaraj with the hands folded at the back. Huh? So judge who has judged others in this material world incorrectly will be held responsible in the court of Yamaraj. So this incident is very inspiring. So the higher we go, the higher responsibility we have, the more karmas we get. So if a Shudra does something wrong, the punishment is low. Punishment is there, but punishment. If a Brahman does something wrong, because he's not supposed to do, he gets a higher punishment, So this story is very nice. So coming back to Prabhuji here. So although killing is a very, very heinous act, but who is killing and why is killing is very, very important. As also Prabhu was giving the example of the soldier killing 50 enemy soldiers, and he is praised like anything. Huh? When he comes back, government gives him medal. So he's not considered, oh, you're a killer. No, you're a Veer Jawan. Huh? So he's given this Virta medal. So his killing is not considered a killing because the cause there was saving the country. Cause there was following the order of his general or whatever. So similarly, is telling Arjun, if the first two lines are there, as Mahavasa Prabhu explained, na ahankrat bhavo buddhiryasana lipate. If the first two lines are there, then the third impact will be, even if you're involved in such a heinous activity as bad as killing, you'll not get the result of killing. Otherwise, a Brahman throwing a stone to a dog was a very culpable crime, and he was made the Mathadish. So basically, what dog was saying, this dog of Ramraj was saying, you have to be extremely careful how you act. Extremely careful. We just act many times carelessly. Chalega. It's okay, Prabhuji. Kya usme, No. I may say like that, but nature doesn't look like that. So nature will not look at it. What nature will look at you as nahanti. Actually, nature will just not bother at all because the first two lines was followed. Otherwise, any smallest action will be given the punishment. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. So just one more follow-up question.
Sure.
So then all these soldiers who are actually fighting at the war fronts, considering current example of Israel and Palestine or Ukraine, Russia, whatever, does this apply to them as well?
Yeah, Prabhu, very complex situation. And nowadays, no one is completely loyal. They are there for livelihood. They're not there for according to their nature. Maybe they are sent by the government. That's possibility. The young people sometimes are sent. They have to take the gun because that's what the oath is. So it's all mixed up. In Kali Yuga, someone was saying it's all khichdi. It's all khichdi. Very hard to say a very clear demarcation on these things. But in the previous ages, Arjun was a clear Kshatriya, and he's doing his Kshatriya duty with full consideration of dharma. And that's the whole Bhagavad Gita about. He's so dharmic, actually. He's so dharmic. He has full right to fight, still is not fighting. And Krishna actually, and that's why sometimes people blame Krishna. He induced the fight, which is very incomplete understanding. But externally, because we are so unlearned, Krishna induced the fight. Krishna induced the fight. So all these things show our sign of no learnings at all. So what's happening that there's mostly is karmic reaction, but sometimes if a soldier is following his commander, although the commander may be wrong, commander will be held responsible by nature rather than the soldier. But again, if a soldier is doing mistakes, like I've heard on borders, soldiers do some abominable activity. I've heard about it. I don't know how far it's true. And that's not very nice. No commander is telling them to do that. They plunder poor people, they attack poor people, they take many things. So all those things, that's not a commander is telling, unless there's a culture, again, commander. So we have to be careful, very, very careful, and try as best as possible. Gahana karmano gati. The gati of karma is very, very complex, very hard to know what is right, what is wrong. And that's why the safest place is doing a Krishna conscious activity. Take the guidance of devotees, and whatever little details are there, at the end of the day, Krishna has already certified this place as Dukhalayam Shashvatam. So no matter how much balance you do, Maharaj was saying, we talk about this balancing spiritual life and material life. Keshav Maharaj was saying, and that's okay, and we should do it, right? But eventually the life is so complex, no one can say this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. Very hard to say. Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Ei bhalo, ei manda, ei sabhrama. Bhalo means good. This is ei bhalo, this is very good. I got a lottery, I got a big position, I got good family, I got good job. Ei bhalo, very nice. Kemno ache, aisa bolte hain? I don't know. Bhalo ache. Something like that. Bhalo means my health is good, my wealth is good, my family is good, my job is good, blah, blah, blah. But hang on a second. Is this really bhalo? Is this really good? Don't know. If it is leading you towards better spiritual realization, yes, it is bhalo. Or I lost my job, I lost my family, my friends have rejected me, society has rejected me. Hey, manda. We call it manda. Manda means bad. This is inauspicious. Really, maybe, just maybe, it will lead you to become a better devotee. All the nonsense people and nonsense things are gone out of your life. Maybe, again, it's just one possibility. Many people do many bad things when society rejects them. So, what is good and what is bad? Ei bhalo, ei sab brahma. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, it is all illusion actually. Because the success for a spiritualist and success for materialist is very, very different. And being devotee, the first thing we have to change, and is the hardest thing, first thing, we have to change our definition of success and failure. If we are not changing, we still have this impression of material success, and we apply on devotees, will be fully confused. This devotee is a very miserable devotee. Really? Crazy Peter, Nitai Sevni Mataji was talking 2 days before, and I've heard this in the other classes as well. There's a guy, very shabby looking, very dirty, smell coming out of his body, big beard. No one would like to talk to him. He'd sit near the shoe stall. Later, he became the big translator for ISKCON. He translated all the Bengali songs and Sanskrit songs into English. Kushagra Prabhu. So the person whom no one likes to speak with, no one likes to even sit with this person. He was known as Crazy Peter in ISKCON. And this Crazy Peter became Kushagra Prabhu. So intelligent. So who is right, who is wrong? Very hard to say. But in general, we follow our material duties, but the result is, that's why I say, especially in the life of devotee, we should never judge devotee with a material vision. What will make this devotee successful in future? We don't know. Separation of Krishna or, Sanyog of Krishna. We don't know. Sometimes a pujari can be in too much Maya. Maybe. And maybe a very simple looking devotee washing dishes. Guru Maharaj said, a person who's washing dishes sincerely for his whole life, one day will turn around and he's not there in the kitchen anymore. Where is he? He's in the spiritual world. You don't have to be so much learned, don't have to be so much popular. which we aspire to become, very learned, very popular in our community. Everyone knows me. Huh? It's not needed actually. It's not needed to go back to Godhead. Yeah, we may accept the learnings for service of Krishna. Yes, we may accept it. We can take some position if that's needed. But that's not the criteria. That's not the criteria. So nature is very complex. But the success definition is whatever makes you a better devotee, that's success. And we can see many things happens in our life. From worldly measures, they look very unsuccessful, failure. But spirituality wise, they are the best things ever has happened in your life. Money doesn't give that much happiness. Position doesn't give that happiness. It's Krishna's association which gives happiness. So whatever brings that association. That's why Kunti arranged Vipta Shantuta Shastra, because Vipada gives me your association. Give me Vipta. So it says, Acharya says, Kunti is not asking actually Vipada. Sorry to say. The verse says like that, but Kunti is asking the association of Krishna, and what is the best means to get association? Vipada. So I want Vipada. And Yudhishthir said, after this, there's a statement in Mahabharata. Yudhishthir went to Krishna one day and said, Krishna, give me a lot of wealth. And Krishna is like, really? Whole world, your mother is asking Vivada and you're asking Sampada. He said, no, give me wealth, lot of wealth, lot of wealth. Krishna said, why are you asking? Yudhishthir said, very nice thing. He said, Krishna, many people in the world does not take your shelter, does not come to you because your devotees are usually considered as very poor. I want to prove to the world, your devotee is the highest one in everything. So to prove that point, Yudhishthir is saying, give me Sampada. So it's not Sampada or Vipada, Kunti or Yudhishthir is asking. It's the association of the Lord which they are asking. And that's important. That's why if devotee is very rich, what's the problem? If he is very skilled in whatever way, perfect. There's no problem with that. Sometimes we go so much sort of against that. He's into too much earning money. But is he a good devotee? Is he becoming a good devotee? So that's why there is no problem with any material thing at all. As far as you're able to connect that with Krishna and serve Krishna through that. Prabhupada said, give me all the money of the world. Prabhupada said openly the statement, give me, because I know how to use that money. I know how to use that money. But Krishna doesn't give us that. Why? We don't know how to handle that. Krishna doesn't give. So it's Krishna's kindness actually. Very, very. Once we become mature, Krishna may give. He may give. He gave to Prabhupada. There's a live example in front of us. Because he could handle, Prabhupada could handle the fame, Prabhupada could handle the money, Prabhupada could handle all these thousands of devotees, so many problems. Prabhupada could handle. So Krishna gave. Okay, sorry, I went a little bit more.
And I do recall you mentioned, and you probably shared with me as well, the definition of success by Keshav Maharaj was it's not the end result, it's the journey.
Yes.
The journey that is actually the experience of that success.
You said the effort which you put, that is success or failure. Have you put your 100% effort? If yes, there is the success is not in the consequence. That's the word Maharaj used. The success is not in the consequence. Success is in the effort. If you have put 100%, you have already achieved success. Consequence doesn't matter. He said like consequence doesn't matter. And what we consider everything as consequence. Safalta mili ki nahi, haar gaye na. You got defeated, Prabhuji. Hang on a second, hang on a second. That defeat may be my best victory of the world. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Rasanand Prabhu or Mataji, if you want to add something. They're all much more experienced than me.
No, Prabhu, actually I was remembering even the Ambrish Prabhu, the Ford, who's a devotee now. We went to Mayapur. He was giving 50% for the TOVP Prabhu. And then actually, the Prabhu who was explaining, he said he didn't give out of his own money. He has taken a loan from the bank because he doesn't want his generation to claim that the TOVP is his property. So he's taking a loan and then giving. So he's using his wealth for Krishna. So that is a very good example.
All glories to these people. Huh? So see, this is Krishna's heart. He's billionaire probably. I don't know even, but he's using his wealth so nicely. How many of us are giving 50%? And it's not about richness or poorness. It's about the heart. Prabhupada said you should give 50%. We are like hanging on to 10%. That also seems difficult. Huh? But yeah, we should give. And Guru Maharaj says the more sacrifice you do, the more realizations you get. Again, it doesn't mean we do immature steps. We're not saying that. But the point is, maturely, if you take good steps in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will reciprocate. Krishna will reciprocate. Not in terms of, to make paisa doge wo 10 lakh dega. In terms of realization, we are talking. If you do some sacrifice for Krishna, Krishna will give you the realization. And one can see so many examples around, so many young brahmacharis, you see, so nicely they are doing for Krishna. Okay, one day.
Dedicated the lives, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu?
They have dedicated their lives for Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Now, they are industrialists, they are very rich people, very popular people, but they are such a nice devotees. Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next one.
Okay, 1818, translation. No, this is, yeah. Knowledge, the object of knowledge and the knower, 3 factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doers are the 3 constituents of action. So this from 1818 is the introductory verse to the next section, which is explaining around 6 terms in this. And later on in 1819, they are condensed as 3 terms. And next following verses, nearly I think 18 to 20 verses, describes these 3 verses and the 3 modes of material nature, each one of them. So that's what Krishna is going to explain in this verse. So here he talks about jnanam, that is knowledge, or that's some sort of piece of information. Jnayam is the object of the knowledge, and parignyata, that is the knower. So these 3 things, the 3 vidya, so these 3 things are known as the impetus, that is the karma chodana. So impetus for the work, daily kind of a work. So knowledge, object of knowledge, and knower. So
Can
basically,
you give a simple
Prabhu,
example, Prabhu?
Yeah, you gave an example of how a student, if he is going to study, so that is the purpose of finally getting the marks and his knowledge was to get a good job, earn something materialistic, get a job, get married, and all these things. So that's the purpose or the object of getting the knowledge. So the knower is the student here. So that the first set of terms. And the next set of term is the karma sangrasha. So that refers to constant work. So the 3 terms referred here is karanam, karma, and karta. So karanam refers to the instrument. Here it's referring to what gives us senses. And the karma is actually the work which is to be done. The karta is actually the doer. So first the impetus is coming, and then how is the constituent of the work. This is what I have to do for this.
No, that's
And
perfect.
other example, I think you mentioned that, for example, you want to prepare some boga. So first you go to the kitchen, and then, but first you need to have the knowledge of what kind of recipe or.
Yeah, first, why would you cook basically? You're cooking for yourself or Lord.
Yeah,
some why has to be there. So this is the impetus. Why? And then impetus will be, oh, I need to cook, that sabji or uttapam or dosa, whatever. So parigyata is me who is going to cook. What's the object? Object is, to satisfy my hunger. Here, for example, and the jnana. You should know that. That's all in the head. Then you enter into the kitchen. Then you start using karanam. You start your senses. Senses are also, Prabhupada says here, karanam is senses and instruments, whatever instruments. Karma, you do the action, and I am the karta. Okay, let's go to the next one, and then we'll relate it back to 1818. Hare Krishna, Sakhi Radhika Mataji, if you're able to do. Hare Krishna. I know many Matajis are just running from the other class. So
just
okay.
came from.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mata. If you would like to do 1819.
I will try, Prabhu.
Yeah.
According to the 3 different modes of material nature, there are 3 kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now hear of them from me. Here I remember that you were saying that we will be do about karma karta jnana, and like I'm not able to recall.
That's okay, Mataji. We can read it together. So Jnana, as Prabhu explained very nicely, is a piece of knowledge. Karma is the action. Okay, so this one actually, sorry. Prochite Gun Sankhyane Yathavarshun. So basically here it is simply saying, please hear from me about Jnana, Karma, and Karta. Right? Now the only thing important here is to connect back with 1818 and say why there are 3 terms used here and 1818 had 6 terms. So let's do a quick connection between these 2 verses. Karta, everyone knows Karta is the doer, right? So whoever person is performing the task, that's Karta. Now, in 1818, what are the 2 words used for Karta? Mausa Prabhu, what are the 2 words in 1818 they have used for Karta? I'm already saying one.
Karteti.
No.
Parijanati.
Parigyata.
Parignata.
So Parigyata is there and Karta. Maybe if you all want to do the unmute, you can do. We can just do a discussion. So Parigyata and Karta. So they're both same things, right? So Krishna is using the word Karta in the next verse. Is it okay? So 2 reduced to 1. That's perfect. Karma, which is the action. Now where karma is used here? As an impetus of action in the second one. In the second set, karma is used, right? So these 2 are used. Parigyata is used. Already done. 3 already done in 2. Third one here Krishna says.
Jnana. Jnana.
Sorry. Jnana, Karma, and Karta. Sorry, I'm doing other way. So Karta we have done. Karma we have done. Jnana. Let's look at the Jnana. Where the Jnana is used here? Here.
Yes.
Now what they have ignored, Geyam and Karanam, right? So Geya is the object of knowledge. Being it as a material object, which comes from Jnana, Krishna has ignored that. And Karanam, senses. Senses are attached with Karta. Isn't it? You're using your senses to perform an action. So we got Karta, we got Karma, and we got Jnana. So all the 6 are condensed into 3. It's okay? Because these 3 words Krishna is going to speak, as Rasan and Prabhuji said, in next 9 verses, 3 into 3, each in 3 modes. It's okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. If someone has something to add, please do. So there's a little mapping which we have done from 6 to 3. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, any other questions or comments you have on that?
It was just that I was reading 14th chapter yesterday, so
Yes.
it relates to 14th chapter.
Yes, Mataji. So there are 20 verses as we looked in MIHE guide, which describes all different components, obviously, in 3 modes. We're talking about Buddhi, Karma, Karta, Jnana, Sukha, Dhrati, all these different components in these 20 verses. So you're right. So this chapter describes in detail quite a few verses, like 20 verses is a lot in a chapter, which is explained only for 3 modes of material nature. Because these are the things which we deal on a day-to-day basis, and we are in the Jnana section. So we're trying to understand how a Karma Yogi is elevated to a Jnana Yogi by involving these things in a proper way. So he sort of explains, say, Jnana in goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, when he's explaining, so you can understand what's the intention of Krishna. Don't do passion and ignorance, isn't it? So he's not saying, choose goodness, but it's sort of intricate in that when I'm explaining passion, ignorance, I'm saying don't do passion, don't do ignorance, choose goodness, choose goodness, choose goodness. I think last week also we were discussing about if we constantly choose goodness for all the perspective, slowly, although we are not good, we also become good. Because the things which we are, say if I'm eating a sattvic food on a daily basis, I will become little more sattvic. If I'm eating passionate food, I will become passionate. So if I take sattvic input as much as possible from my environment, from my buddhi, from my sukha, from my karma, the possibilities, I will become sattvic. And then I can elevate myself to bhakti yoga eventually. Okay. So we've done this. We've done 19. Let's go to the 20. Okay, I already have 20. I'll not read these 20 because we all have read it, and it's just different characteristics. So they are talking about action. Jnana in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And next topic Krishna takes the action, karma. So he's taking karma now. Let's leave the karma as well. One thing I can do in 1824 very quickly. Yattu kamepsuna karma sa ahankarena vapuna. So what are the two characteristics we can see for mode of passion for rajas? Kamepsuna. So we have material desire. We are inspired by our material desire to do that. And sa ahankarena. And what's the ahankar? As the Gopal Prabhu was saying, 327. I am the doer. I am so great. So kriyate bahul ayasam. So atyahara prayasascha. So they do a lot of hard work to complete their material desires, and which we see. I went for a walk at 7 a.m. in the morning, and the Pacific Highway was completely full. It's like 7 o'clock. People are leaving so early for work. 7 o'clock is full on. So bahul ayas, and they come late home. Okay. And the last verse, we can do this 1825. Manmohan Prabhuji, if you are able to do.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Translation: that action performed in illusion is disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So there are 4 characteristics of the action performed in the mode of ignorance. One is action performed in illusion. Then the second is in disregard to scriptural injunction. Then second is there's a disregard to future bondage, that this kind of action would create more bondage for me in future.
So the word here, Prabhuji, anubandham.
Yes, Prabhu.
What does anubandham mean? If you just break it into two, bandham.
Bandhan is obviously bondage.
Bandhan, bondage. Anu means?
I mean, it says atomic, but it could be future in this regards.
Yeah, so if you remember the anu prefix, anyone else remember a word which starts with anu? Anu as a prefix.
Anu Atma.
Anu Atma, okay. Something else? A very famous verse?
Yeah.
Anukulena, okay. More? From Bhagavad Gita?
Anusuya.
Ansuya, okay. More? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Dosha Anudarshanam. Anudarshan. Anurag. Rag means attachment. Anurag means great attachment. Now Radharani says supposed to have anurag, not supposed to have, I'm sorry. She has anurag. We also have anurag. We all have anurag for wealth, position, fame, how great I am, those sort of. So obviously in a different direction. So anu, whenever it comes, so it has many meanings. Anyone remembers the meaning of anu? Think with Shastra. So you don't just take darshan of Janmrityu Jara. Oh, Janma is there, great. Mrityu is there, I'm lamenting. Janmrityu Jara Vyadhi. There, for example, there are many more. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, Dukkha Dosha. They are Dukkha and they are Dosha, and see it through Shastra. They're not, there's no pleasure. The living entity which comes in the material world, is in Dukkha. She or he is crying, that baby is crying. And the family people are saying, very good, very good, very good. And we should say, in a spiritual sense, but then we should make sure, at least try to make sure this living entity who has come in my house should not take birth again, should not go to another mother's womb, as much as we can try. Because we see this living entity is suffering, and she or he has come in my family. It's my responsibility to try to deliver this soul and never to take birth again. Unless we see that through Shastra, we cannot act on it. So anu also means repetition. Anu also means to go behind. So I'm not taking myself forward. I'm following in the footsteps of Acharya. There's anusaran and there's anukaran. So I'm doing anukaran. Anukaran means following the footsteps. Anusaran means I'm posing myself as. So anu is a very, very important word. So anubandham refers to great bandhan, which you don't see. It's greatly going to bind you in future. That's why Prabhupada writes in a simple words of future bondage. Right now we don't see any hatkadi, but in future it will be very binding, those activities. Yes, Manmohan Prabhuji, sorry, I thought we'll just do that.
So only the last point was like without concern for violence or the distress to others, which is Shayam and Himsam.
So Shayam and Himsa. What's the difference, Prabhu?
So Shayam is destruction, future destruction, and then Himsam is the distress to others.
Okay, so Shaya refers to things.
Things.
Himsa refers to people.
Yeah.
So as you correctly said, destruction, but destruction more of a like in India, sometimes strike happens and they burn the train or bus or something. That's Shaya, there's Shaya. And Himsa refers to when I'm physically harming. And obviously Himsa has multiple levels. As Prabhupada talks about, Himsa means not giving others opportunity to grow in a spiritual life. That is Himsa. So we can do Himsa on a physical level, mental level, or on a spiritual level. But the greatest Himsa which we can do for others is the spiritual level Himsa. Physical Himsa, definitely bad, mental Himsa, bad, but spiritual Himsa is the greatest because I'm not allowing others to grow. And that's why the duty of a king is very, very important. King or a leader whom the family is dependent on, because if he's not leading properly, he's doing actually Hinsa. He may be giving a lot of prasadam, lot of food and clothes to the family, but still he may be doing Hinsa of spiritual. So he's not giving opportunity for their family, children to grow spiritually. Now, if they don't take, that's up to them. That we can't control, but you should give them opportunity to grow. And that is the best non-violence activity. Okay. Anapeksha. Anapeksha refers to why I'm doing this verse, because these are the terms which we can apply on ourselves or the people around us.
Of consequences.
Without considering the consequences.
Without consideration of others' pain.
Pain, yeah.
So I'm speaking in such a way, for example, I just say left, right, center thing. So I'm not considerate about your the words which may cause you pain, for example, right? And I'm just saying because I like to say, and many people do, sometimes saying or acting in a way which is very, very insensitive. Gaur Gopal Prabhu was saying, I can't remember the exact words, but something like that. He said, speaking something is easy, but speaking something which doesn't hurt others takes a lifetime of effort. So you speak in such a mature way, it doesn't hurt others. Many times we are not so sensitive towards others' needs and how their background, their culture, their race, whatever. We should be very, very careful, very, very careful. But nowadays we see anapeksha so much around us, so much. Even sometimes families become very anapeksha. So we should at least try not to fall in this category. If others are there, we can't do much. Paurusham refers to harsh speech, very dirty speech and harsh speech. Mohad arabhyate karma. Sorry, I'll come back to Manmohan Prabhu and let him explain.
So mohat is like it's a mode of ignorance. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Many times moha word is used for illusion. And what's the other word used for goodness? Opposite to moha? Anyone remembers from 14th chapter? What's the word which they use generally for the sattva? For moha, it comes with tamas so many times. Prakasha. So moha is illusion, prakasha is illumination. So when I'm illumined, I will not do those activities. Suppose you enter in a room and the room is completely dark. So you may knock something out because you're not able to see in that room. So what prakasha means is prakash. You will go and sit in a nice chair. You will pick up some things you need to pick. So moha. So moha is usually with the tamas. Arabhyate means
to begin is begun.
Yes. Arambha karna. So they do they start many activities out of moha. Ye bahut acha hai. Let me go there. Let me do this. Let me do this. Or let me not do this. Out of moha, out of illusion. There's not much thinking. I think one person was saying, in mode of goodness, first you contemplate and then act. In mode of passion, you act and then complain. Hi. Why did I do this? And in mode of ignorance, no contemplation, only action. even if they do something wrong, they keep doing the wrong thing. Say, suppose you do something wrong, then you're like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done better. Okay, many times we realize after doing the mistake. That's okay. But in tamas, what happens? No contemplation at all. You drink alcohol and you get sick, you go to the doctor, and as soon as you get over it, you come back, you start drinking again. That's called tamas. You're not learning at all. First, you should not do the mistake and oh, this is very bad for me, I should not take. Okay, you take and you get sick and say, oh, Krishna, I should never do that. Okay. Third, you take and take. Many in Hindi movies, they say, many thieves go to the jail, they come out, they do the activity again, they go to the jail again, and they said, we are the regular customer. They keep going back in and out. So there's no learning at all. That's tamas. Thank you, Manohar Prabhu. That was a longer verse. Sorry.
There was one example. I came across like this person's, like, he just died. He was a very famous person in India. The owner of Sahara Group, Subrata Roy.
Okay.
He recently died, and what he did was like exactly what we are reading in this shloka. To others, like he took money from the poor people to build an empire, and then he gave them a false promise, never gave the money back, and he was eventually sent to the jail, and then he died, and his sons even didn't come to his funeral or something.
Wow.
So such a sad ending. Like, but I mean, the action that he performed was like caused so much of distress to others, especially the poor people in India. So something similar I just came across. So I thought I'll give that.
Good. And Prabhu, you're giving one example. There are so many examples like that. I'm not saying everyone is like that. Many big rich people, they do so much gotala, so much scams they do. That's how they become rich. And then what happens? At the end, they die somewhere and no friends or family is there around them, because they thought making money is the highest goal of my life. If I can make money, everything is fine. But that's not true. And you can see Anubandham. That's why I did this verse, Prabhu, because this is more popular in today's life. So I thought, it's good to know and contemplate. Again, we are trying to contemplate and on ourselves as well. If we are becoming anapeksha, we have to correct ourselves. If we are becoming parsha, we are speaking harshly. We have to contemplate. And unless we do this, we're never going to come out. So that's why it's a very nice verse in that sense for learnings. Okay, let's do the, Karta. I will not do the Kartas as well. It's already 4:36. Let's go to 29. We have done all this. Yeah, Tamas I would like to do. Sorry. Who wants to do that? This one verse. Vijay Gopi Mataji, if you'd like to do. They're really nice terms, actually.
The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunction of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. So this is giving the full characteristic of a person who is acting in the mode of ignorance. The first one is like those who are working against the scriptural injunction is ayukta. So, and that is one characteristic. The person who is in the mode of ignorance acts against the scriptural injunctions. And the second one is who is
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. So,
Sorry,
anyone remembers a positive example of yukta?
Yes.
6:17. Yuktahar vihara se yukta chesa se karmasu. So, the word yukta means well situated. Now, well means shastrically situated. This person is acting as per Shastra. That's called yukta. And Krishna himself says you should be yukta. He's not saying don't eat, don't sleep. No. You eat yukta har vihara. So ahar should be yukta, balanced. You take whatever is appropriate. And vihar, entertainment also, he says yukta. So that is well. Ayukta, he is not well situated. Where he is not well situated, he doesn't have a PR in Australia. He doesn't have a good job in Australia. No, that's not ayukta. Ayukta is how far you are from scripture. If you're far from scripture, that is called ayukta. Okay, Mata, please continue.
The second characteristic is materialistic, which is prakrita. So the person who is in the mode of ignorance is so materialistic.
What does it
And
mean?
the third,
So what does materialistic mean?
so whatever he does, he just thinks about what he gains from that.
All about matter. My money, my body, my family, my fame, and that's all matter. That's all matter. It's got nothing to do with the spirit. So he's living a very materialistic life all around matter. Okay, Mataji.
So he may not understand what the spirit is.
Yes, because he is prakrita.
He's just only me and body. Yeah.
Now, in Bhagavatam, the
And
word used in 11th canto by one of the Navi Yogendras to Nimi Maharaj is called Prakrit Bhakta. That's the word used. Prakrit Bhakta. What does it mean? Bhakta who is living as a materialistic. So that applies to many of us. Prakrit Bhakta. So we are so-called Bhakta, we are doing some practices, but our mind is situated in actually Prakritic things. So we have to be very careful. We don't become Prakrit Bhakta. My guru is great. Your guru is all right, but my guru is great. I am great. Why? Because my guru is great. So my deities, my temple, your temple is not so good. Krishna is residing in every temple, in every atom. He sees Krishna only in the deity. Now, it's not like he's not doing, it's written in Bhagavad, he's doing deity worship. He's a pujari, he's Brahman initiated in that sense, right? But he's called a Prakrit Bhakta because he insults others, he disrespects, he fights with devotees. He do what we call Chinese whisper and all that. As per Navi Yogendras, if we are doing one of those activities in a small sense, we are actually a Prakrit Bhakta. So we are supposed to overcome these qualities. So I should say disqualities, not qualities, disqualities. So Prakrit word is also very important. It relates to, up to an extent, to us as well. Okay, Istabdha.
The next is Tabdaha, you gave two examples. That's meaning is obstinate. And you gave two examples, Prabhu, which is Duryodhana and Dhruva Maharaj. So Duryodhana, he wasted all his, intelligence against the Pandavas. Like whatever he has got, he was just thinking about how to kill Pandavas and other things. Whereas Dhruva Maharaj, like he took the guidance of Narada Muni, who is considered as a guru of Dhruva Maharaj, in order to, though initially he started for a materialistic, but later on, he went for a spiritual knowledge. So that's the example you gave.
Just one thing
and
here.
The fourth characteristic.
Sorry, Mata, just one second. So if we have to give example of Stabdha, so we can't say Dhruv Maharaj an example. He's the opposite example where he used his determination. But if you have to give example, I would say Ravan and Duryodhan. Ravan was also very obstinate. So many people says, don't get Sita, don't get this lady. Even when the lady came, said, please give this lady back. It's causing so much destruction. Ravan was so stabdha. Nahi denge. Okay. Finally, he killed himself. So, but Dhruv Maharaj is an opposite example.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
And the next characteristic is Sataha, which is deceaseful. He thinks something, he says something, sort of.
Yeah. Like Ravana as well.
And he does something. He thinks something, he does something. Yes.
So Ravana became a sadhu, so-called sadhu, and then he stole Mother Sita. So Shatho. They are very for them, anything which solves their purpose is fine. Kuch bhi chalta hai. Anything as far as my work is done, I don't care. It is as per dharma or adharma. Let's do it. Ravana is example. Yes.
And the fifth characteristic, Naishkritaha, that is expert in insulting others. So they take pride in insulting others. And the next characteristic is lazy, Alashaha. I mean, Lasha. Lasha is very lazy. Alasha. Yes, very lazy. And he is always morose, Vishadit. And the next characteristic is procrastinating, which is Driksha Shruti.
Dirgha Sutri.
And also, Dirgha Shut.
Sutri.
Shutri.
So basically, Dirgha means long time he will take. Okay.
Yeah, to take a decision, Prabhu, it's like take a long time to take a decision or to act
do
anything.
anything. You ask them,
And
Prabhu,
these
can
are
you...
the characteristic of...
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
All good, Mataji. I think the internet has little
Hare Krishna.
lagging. Some weak connection, I guess, is there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Our internet
But
is
that's
very slow here.
no
Sorry.
problem, Mata. We could
Yeah.
still hear you properly. So thank you, Mataji. Okay, now let's start today's discussion. 1829. Who would like to do 1829?
I can try.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Buddhir bhedam dhritishchaiva
Buddher bhedam dhritaschaiva
gunatastri vidham shunu
gunatastri vidham shunu
prochamanam asheshya asheshena
rochemanam asheshena
prithak prithaktvena dhananjaya.
Tathatvena dhananjaya.
O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature.
Thank you, Mataji. So 1819 was sort of a transition verse where he spoke three terms. Krishna spoke three terms: Jnana, Karma, and Karta. So then he spoke, each component into three modes of material nature. So there was 9 verses there. Now 1829 again is the transition verse, and now he is saying, I'll speak 2 terms. Actually, he'll speak 3 terms, but let's see 2. Buddher bhedam dhrita shaiva. So next 2 terms Krishna is going to pick is buddhi, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and dhriti. Dhriti means determination. We'll talk in a minute. Gunatas trividham shunu. So please hear from me these one in 3 gunas. Prochemanam asheshena. Asheshena, anyone remembers? What does it mean, asheshena? So shesha, ashesha. Ashesh means reminder is 0. Parents who are teaching young kids now, I'm teaching, reminder 0. No reminder left, like nothing will be left. So in one sense, we can say in detail. I'll explain you in detail. Nothing else will be left to be known after I explain this to you. Prochemana means I'll say Prathaktvena Dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, please hear from me. So now actually Krishna will explain. So 30, 31 and 32 we'll talk about Buddhi. Then 33, 34, 35 we'll talk about Dhriti. And then 36, 37, 38 we'll talk about Sukha. And we'll see what's the connection between these terms in a minute. So let's start 1830. Shraddha Mataji, would you like to do?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nivrittim cha
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha
karyo karye bhaya bhaye
karya karye bhaya bhaye
bandham moksham cha yaveti
bandham moksham cha yaveti
buddhim sapartha satviki.
buddhi sapartha satviki.
Translation: O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness.
Thank you, Mataji. So now Krishna in this particular verse is explaining Buddhi Sapartha Satviki, Sattvic Buddhi. What is that intelligence which is known as in mode of goodness? Now 8 terms Krishna explains here. What are the 8 terms? Pravrittim cha, nivrittim cha. So we understand pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means my inclination to do something naturally. Like Duryodhan said, my pravritti is in what? Adharma. What's that famous verse? I can't remember at this stage. I know that verse, but anyway. So Krishna, Duryodhan says there, Janami dharmam janami dharmam na chame pravritti, janami adharmam na chame nivritti. Janami dharmam, I know what dharma is, na chame nivritti, but my nivritti is not there. And I know what is adharma, but my pravritti is not in dharma. So Duryodhana is saying, I know what you are saying, Vasudev, what you are saying sounds correct, it's dharmic, but I'm not able to do it. So pravritti means natural inclination. Natural inclination. It says one person in India who was a thief, actually. He joined Krishna conscious movement after seeing Prabhupada's watch. Prabhupada was wearing a very expensive watch in his hand. So he joined the movement, so-called joined the movement, so that one day he will get an opportunity to steal Prabhupada's watch. So he joined a temple, he was living there, and he was constantly having an eye on Prabhupada's watch. When I will get the opportunity. And Prabhupada, super intelligent. One day he came in this room and he was looking, and Prabhupada said, so, do you want this watch? Prabhupada gave him the watch himself. And he was fully surprised, how come a person can give this expensive watch to me? And then he became devotee. So he wasn't a devotee for first whatever 3 months or 2 months, whatever it was, I don't know. But Prabhupada was so kind, so generous, and Prabhupada said, you want this watch, take it. And then he said to Prabhupada, I'm sorry to say, but I said I came for this watch only. So that time, his pravritti was, even from a sadhu he wanted to steal. Valmiki, he wanted to kill Narad Muni. That was his pravritti at that time, right? And these changes. So pravritti means natural incline. Some people are Vaishya, all they will talk about money. Some people are Brahmana, all they will talk about Shastra. And when these Brahmans speak with the Vaishyas, there is an incompatibility, isn't it? You're always talking about Shastra, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. Are yaar, kuch masala baat karo. Talk something spicy. What's happening in the world? What's happening in the neighbor? What's happening in that devotee's house, that devotee's house? And this person is like, come on, yaar, mujhe kya lena dena? What I'm going to do with that devotee's life? Hey, let's talk about Bhagavad Gita. And then, Are yaar, to bekar ka hai. And that happens. So you see in temple also Sunday feast, all the compatible groups will be sitting together. And they will have a similar mindset, and they will talk similar subject matters day after day. You'll see every Sunday they're sitting together. So that is called pravritti. Nivritti, we all understand this exact opposite. Vaishya will have nivritti from Shastra. I would not say nivritti means no, but not much interest. And Brahman will have nivritti. Why we have to build a new temple? Why can't we just have more programs? Brahman is always think like that. And Vaishya will think, let's make a big temple, let's get new furniture, let's do this, that, always like that. Kshatriya is like, whoever is doing the mistake, I will correct them. I will tell that devotee. Like I think Sakhi Radhika Mataji was saying, no, I'm in HR, I can talk to people who say Brahmanical nature. Some in that HR also have Kshatriya nature. When you communicate something, how you communicate, that matters. You can communicate in a Brahmanical way, Satyam Hitam Priyam, or in a very Apriya way, like a Kshatriya who says, Mrityu Danda. So we have to understand this pravritti and nivritti. One who understands his own. We are not saying right or wrong here. We're not saying that, right? Pravritti and nivritti, he understands. And obviously we are saying in terms of, dharma, we understand what needs to be, what is my natural inclination towards dharma or adharma. So if this is dharma, I should do. If it is adharma, I should not do. Pravritti and nivritti. Karya akarya. So we understand karya akarya, what karna chahiye, what needs to be done, akarya, what not needs to be done. What's the difference between pravritti, nivritti and karya akarya? Anyone? So pravritti, nivritti stands more on a mental level. I get towards, this paneer ka sabji, spicy sabji, naturally. But Manmohan Prabhu said, no spices anymore, no diabetes anymore. Next time when you come, your sugar level has to be correct. That is called karya. Although you have nivritti from that, I love mangoes. Kya kare? Doctor ne bola, no more mangoes now. No, sweet mango has. So sometimes you don't do action, not because you have nivritti. You understand? Although you have pravritti, but you do akarya. Actually, that's called intelligent. Based on doctor's opinion, your family's guidance, your spiritual guidance, you not do something, although you're inclined to do it. So what are the two terms? Pravritti, nivritti, what is natural inclination? Karya, akarya, what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. Bhaya, abhaye. So bhaya refers to fear and abhay refers to fearlessness. Is bhaya good or bad? You can unmute yourself. A quick discussion. Bhaya, fear, good or bad?
Depends, Prabhu. But Bhaya is not. Is if it is that we can go away from Krishna, then it is good. But if we are like we have fear because of two reasons, I forgot we did it in first module. It's just not coming. Yeah, if we are losing the fear of losing what we have, and fear of what was that what we will not जो चला जाएगा या फिर हम खो देंगे loss of something or I'm forgetting it.
Bhakti Shastri exam bhai. But I'm Abhay.
So fear depends if it is what fear it
Depend, yeah. All
but
devotees here, devotee language they are talking depends political language, but it is true. Some fears are good, some
Maya.
fears are. Yes, Mataji?
Fear of Maya.
Fear of Maya, it's very
like
healthy.
we may get
Yes. So it's a very good example. So we should be fearful of Maya. Prabhupada said, I have one complaint, two complaints Prabhupada had generally. My disciples are not enough fearful of Maya. Enough fearful of Maya. So that fear is very healthy fear. And some are called unhealthy fear. Suppose you've been driving for a while and one day a small accident happened. Now, oh, I will not drive, I will not drive, I will not drive, because accident may happen now. Accident may happen, that's fine. But, some are called unhealthy fear. Prabhupada was asked once, what's the difference between mind and intelligence? Prabhupada gave one example and he gave others as well. One time he said, we are standing on the top of a 17-story building. Mind says jump, intelligence says don't. Mind will say jump, yaar, chalega, kuch nahi hota. Intelligence will say no, and you should hear your intelligence. Hear your intelligence. So some fear are very good. You cannot cross a big road blindly. That fear is good. You have to watch for the cars and other vehicles, and you cross carefully. Oh, you are a sannyasi. You're also fearful. No, it's not about sannyas or brahmachari. Traffic is there for everyone. You're crossing so that fear is a good fear, a healthy fear. And some are so the discrimination which tells you where to fear and where not to fear, that is called sattvic buddhi. So what are the 6 components we have done? Pravritti, nivritti, we understand natural inclination or natural uninclination. So some things we are just not, some parents will say, my child is naturally goes towards these things. I know one child, a 3-year-old, very cutie pie, he loves spicy food. Naturally, now you can't teach a child to eat spicy food, but this child just loves it. That's fine. So that's called pravritti. On nivritti, some children don't take sweet. Just by default, no one has taught them not to eat. Some children love sweets. So karya, what is done as an action we are talking about, what needs not to be. No, I should not do. I can see a fan on top of Sundar Gopal Prabhu. I should not put my finger, although I feel like my pravritti is, I'm very curious. No, Prabhuji, this curiosity won't work if you put your finger in a running fan. So, karya, bhaya, have healthy fears. And there's a saying in English, fools, angels' fears where fools rush in. So we should not become fool. Oh, there's bomb blasting going on, I will just carry on with my things. No, unless you're on a very high level like Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, and something like that. Bandham moksham. Bandham moksham refers to what will cause me bandham. We're talking about this word anubandham, and Mohan Prabhu was explaining. So what will cause me bondage? What karya which will cause me bondage? And what karya will cause me moksha? So if you know 8 things, again, what's the standard? My mind is the standard. Is that right? Shastra. Yasmat shastram pramanante. Shastra is the praman. As per Shastra, I know my pravritti and nivritti, what karya I should do, what akarya I should not do, what is my healthy fear, what is my unhealthy fear, what will cause me bandha, what will cause me moksha. If I am able to do all this with my buddhi, that is buddhi is known as sattviki buddhi. It's a very, very nice thing. Very, very nice thing. Now let's read buddhi in word of passion. That will recognize more actually. The first one was difficult. Some things we do, not all of them. 1831. Who would like to do?
I can do it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yaya dharmam adharmam cha.
Yaya dharmam adharmam cha.
Karya cha eva cha.
Karyam cha karyam eva cha.
Yathavat prajanati
ayathavat prajanati
buddhi sapartha rajasi.
buddhi sapartha rajasi.
Translation: O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So what is that part? Buddhi, Rajasi, Rajasi, Buddhi, ayathavat. Yatha means, anyone remembers word yatha? Bhagavad Gita yatha roop. In Hindi they call it Bhagavad Gita as it is. Huh? So ayathavat means not as it is, like opposite of it. So what is the opposite? Two things are given, dharmam and adharmam. So they don't have any real knowledge of dharma and real knowledge of adharma. And karyam akaryam, what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. If you remember, the same word are used in the previous verse as well. Satviki buddhi. They know what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. But these people, ayathava, they do not know. So they do anything and then they think later. Again, in mode of passion, what we do the action, then the contemplation. And what should be done? What should be done? Contemplation before the action. So the Sattvic people are always like, they think. Someone tells them, can you do this? Okay. Okay, they analyze it. And someone was saying we should do calculated risk. So Sattvic people will take, okay, I'll go home, think about it. And they respond properly. So we understand these four things, dharma, adharma, and karya, akarya. They cannot discriminate within that. Now, the third one is most interesting one. Rasan Prabhu, would you like to do?
Yes, Prabhu. Dharmam itiya
Adharmam dharmam itiya
manyate tamas avrta
manyate tamasavrta
tamasavrta
vipatamscha
sarvatha vipritansha
buddhi sapartha tamasi.
buddhi sapartha tamasi.
Translation: that understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in wrong direction, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So adharmam dharmam iti. So they consider adharma as dharma. So what is like completely against religion, they consider that only as religion. Manyate, they consider that tamasavrta because they are covered with tamas. So the first identifying characteristic is, anyone can remember an example? You don't have to name it. One or a community of them, they consider adharma as their greatest dharma. They kill other people and say, I am helping the Almighty. Killing other people, killing innocent people on the road, on train station, and blah blah blah. They consider, oh my God, I'm helping the greatest Almighty. So you can see what Bhagavad Gita is saying about them. They kill animals, indiscriminately. They kill animals, and even their priest eat the animal meat, and they call it, wow, I am doing dharma. By cutting this animal, I'm sending this animal soul back to Godhead. That's what they consider. Wow. And they're cutting animals. One person, devotee actually, was living in a country where they're saying, when their religious festival come, you can see the heads of different animals on the road. You see blood. You see, you can't even go out on the street. So much slaughtering is going on. So much slaughtering. On the name of festival, they kill thousands and lakhs of animals. So what is adharma, they consider as dharma. So there's one characteristic which we know and we experience that. Now, again, not everyone will be like that, but many are like that. Sarvathan. Sarvatha refers to Hamesha, always. It's not once. One festival they did a mistake, next festival they did oh, this jiva also have life. This jiva also feels pain. No, Sarvatha Viparitansha. So how many times they do this? Sarvatha, always. Viparit means whatever is not to be done, they always do that. Buddhi sapartham. See, now Krishna, you can say, just in one line, he has explained everything. Everything. Just one line. That's called a smart speaker. We have to speak the whole essay, still we cannot speak. Krishna says, Sarvatha Vipritansha. What is a dharma? They consider as dharma. Now I gave that example so that we understand what is this tamasi buddhi. Because we have to understand and recognize. Again, discrimination in the modern world does not consider a good term, but actually is recommended in Vedic culture. And we do that in the modern world as well. Unless we discriminate, discrimination means what is good for us, we take, what is bad for us, we leave. Unless you discriminate, how are you going to grow? Everything is good, then how can you grow in that? Even modern people don't do it, but they say, oh, discrimination is a very bad word because they have a particular context associated with it. But our context is a spiritual context. So they are not able to discriminate. They're not able to logically understand what wrong they are doing. Yes, Mataji or Prabhuji, Vijay Gopi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, I just wanted to share one thing, Prabhu.
Yes,
During visit now in Calcutta, you know how it was mentioning as religion to be religion.
Yes.
So in Calcutta, one of the devotee was explaining on Diwali day, they celebrate it as a Kali Puja. So how they changed the scripture completely is like, they've changed the scripture in such a way that, you know, Krishna is also under the Maya, you know, like under Kali. Like
Okay.
in the scripture, they have changed the whole scripture completely in such a way that, you know, when Sri Ram was trying to cross the ocean, he was praying to Maya Devi saying that, please allow me to cross the ocean. And then Maya Devi said like, no, you have to do the puja with 108 lotus flower. And then Maya wanted to test Krishna, so Krishna Rama, so she hidden one lotus flower, and then Rama was like trying to, because his eye is considered to be a lotus, so he was plucking the eyes, and Maya said, no, I was just testing you. Then she allowed Rama to cross the ocean. So this was there in the scripture. So these people just believe the wrong scripture as religion. We can't say that they are religious people, like they seems to be very religious, but this is how they follow the religion. I was really shocked to hear that. So it is there in the scriptures, and they do follow these scriptures.
Yeah, but that's
It
why
was changed periodically.
there are two things here, and I'm not going to the conclusion, but two things here. One thing is it really in scriptures or it's made up by some, you know, loka katha? That's one point, and that's possible or may not be possible. Second thing is the 18 Puranas which we read, there are 6 in goodness, 6 in passion, 6 in ignorance. So which Purana we are talking? So Matsya Purana very clearly says any Purana which is against Bhagavatam should not be given the priority. So the Puranic story may be correct, but it should not be given the priority because we have this sutra.
He was telling that it recently changed. Yeah.
Sorry.
He was saying within 100, 200 years, this scripture has been changed.
Yes,
this was followed in
many things have changed.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to, one story I heard from His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj, a small story but very beautiful. One Panditji was there in Bengal. This was Radha Govinda Maharaj tells. One Panditji was there in Bengal. So he will take a goat in every Amavas or something, and he will cut the goat and, you know, eat, obviously. So another person in the same village was telling this Brahman, you are a Brahman, you should not do this bali. You should not do the sacrifice, the jiva and all that. But this Brahman will never listen. When this Brahman became old, one of the friend Brahman saw him on Amavas day, and he was not taking the goat these days. So he said, Panditji, what happened? Why are you not carrying the goat? Today's Amavas, you should carry, like as per what you have done whole life, you should carry the goat. He said, the Brahman said, who used to kill goats every Amavas, he said, kya kare, ab booढ़े ho gaye, daant nahi rahe. I don't have teeth anymore, so kya kare? And this Brahman said, was the goat for you or for Kali? And then he didn't have any answer. It's a real incident, Was the goat for you? So you'll say, oh, I'm offering for Kali. Now, Kali is not old. Kali's teeth are perfect. Why are you saying, kya kare? You know, now old age is there, no teeth. And he said, but I thought you're offering to Kali. So this is how they actually change. On the name of Kali, they're offering what they like. I've heard from Prabhupada, he's written in some book I have read. Prabhupada said in Calcutta, where they slaughter the animals, they have this Kali Mata photo. And when they sell the animal, they say it's prasad of Kali Mata. Just by hanging a photo in the shop, that does not become prasad. And Prabhupada writes very clearly, Kali Mata is a Vaishnavi. She never takes all these things. But they hang the photo in the shop at the front where the counter is, and they say, is Kali Mata prasad? Is this festival? Please take. And people happily take without having any consideration of the pain of these jivas. Anyway, we are very fortunate to have in touch with Bhagavad Gita by Prabhupada. Vijay Gopi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, I also felt the same. Like,
yes, we are extremely fortunate.
I also felt the same, Prabhu. We are very fortunate to Krishna conscious, like to know the real scriptures.
Yes. Yep.
We are really, really thankful to Prabhupada.
Yes. Otherwise, we'll be also carrying that prasad of that photo, thinking it's a prasad, and it's all valid. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, if you want to add something.
No, Prabhuji, just had a question.
Yes.
So, Prabhu, I've seen like over here in text 30 about pravritim and nivritim. So, just had this doubt that like everybody has this pravriti or nivriti, but coming in contact, I've seen people change.
Yes.
Association, even a good devotee gets into a bad dissociation,
yes.
also leaves Krishna consciousness,
Yes.
and like a very bad, like doing somebody who's doing very bad things also.
Absolutely.
So, Prabhu, what is the process like? What is the loophole which changes their pravriti and nivriti in both the cases?
Okay, it's a big question. One of the major points is Vaishnava Aparadh. One of the major points is Vaishnava Aparadh. If one person is a very good devotee, but somehow in his dealings with another Vaishnava, he offended the Vaishnava, he did some major Vaishnava Aparadh, Krishna will make arrangement that this devotee from this day onwards will not have much interest. And it happens slowly. I'll give you one example which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Hemlata Thakurani, she was the granddaughter of Shiva's Thakur. She used to live in Vrindavan, and she will always chant Hare Krishna, always she will chant, she will never stop chanting. One day she went for a katha in Vrindavan at Radhakund. There was a great speaker speaking. He was a very popular speaker. He was doing some Hari katha. So she went and she sat in the katha, and because her tongue could not stop chanting, so it's still saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. The speaker said, Mataji, stop chanting, listen katha. And she said, sorry to disturb, but she still kept chanting. Later on again, speaker was very disturbed, and he said, Mataji, what nonsense you are doing. And she said, I'm so sorry, but my tongue cannot stop chanting. It's not I am chanting, my tongue just cannot stop. And he said, all nonsense. He said some things to this Mataji. She left the assembly, and after that, this person, I forgot his name, and a very popular speaker of his time. All the great pundits in Radhakund and Vrindavan will come and hear from him. And after this incident, this particular incident, because he offended this Mataji, and in a very bad way, he offended. It says he started having less interest in the katha, and slowly he offended other Vaishnavas as well, and he actually went out of Radhakund. So if we offend a Vaishnava, one of the major things is it stops our pravritti and nivritti. And another way, if I serve a Vaishnava, if I don't have any material skills, for example, I don't speak good English, I don't do this, that good. But if I serve a Vaishnava, just by that little good, sincere seva of that Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, I may convert from a very bad person to a very good person. Example is hippies. Hippies served Prabhupada, although they had practically no skills, materially speaking. But they served Prabhupada. They had no idea about Krishna or Krishna consciousness, any etiquette, this and that, nothing. One story I read recently, a small, very nice story someone sent. He said, when Prabhupada was initially preaching in New York, so no one will come and help him to cook or to clean. So Prabhupada alone will cook whatever facilities he had, and then he will distribute that prasadam, and he will clean all the vessels, he will clean the plates, he will clean the plates, and work till 1 or 2 o'clock every day, late night. So one day one man came and said, Swamiji, can I help you? He said, okay. So Swamiji took the help, and later on this man realized how much hard work Prabhupada was doing. And then he approached another his friends, because Prabhupada never said to anyone, you come and help me. Prabhupada inspired people, and many times we get frustrated because we want to instruct others rather than inspire people. And it's not always easy, but Prabhupada was, very, very nice. He never said anyone to wear even dhoti or kurta. He never said to anyone. People came and asked, Prabhupada, can you please teach me? So later on, what happened, he approached his friends, and so there was like, I think 5 people ready. So they had a quick sort of gathering where Prabhupada was also there. He said, okay, Prabhupada, we have few devotees to help you to do this, daily task. So someone said, I'll do Monday. Someone said, I'll do Friday. And there was one slot free Wednesday. No one was raising hands. So Prabhupada said, I will do on Wednesday. I'll do on Wednesday. So it's so nice when I heard that. Prabhupada said, I will do kitchen duties and all the duties on Wednesday. And we shy off because we are great devotees. Anyway, coming back, Mataji. So 2 things, Vaishnav Seva or Vaishnav Aparadh, that can change your pravritti or nivritti. Ratnakar Daku had faith in the words of Narad Muni. Mragari had faith in the words of Narad Muni. Dhruva had faith in the words of Narad Muni. That's their seva. Parikshit Maharaj had faith in the words of Shukadev Goswami. That's the seva. Now, seva is not always a physical seva. You are cooking or massaging the feet of the spiritual master. That's one type of seva. They had faith and they served as per the instruction of their spiritual master. And these hippies became Param Vaishnava. Mragari became Param Vaishnava. Dhruv Maharaj became Dhruv Maharaj. Even Nal Kuber and Manigriva became great devotees. Neelkantha is Neelkantha. And they became preachers. From drunkards, they became preachers. It's amazing, huh? I'm sure you all know that, so I'm not going that Damodar pastime now. But they became one of the best preachers in heavenly planets. Is that okay, Mata?
So, Prabhu, where does Agyan Sukriti, without which nobody comes closer to Krishna, where does this lie?
Okay, so when you talk about Agyan Sukriti, that's to start the bhakti. Now, what we were discussing earlier, that's to sustain the bhakti. There are 2 things, to start it and to sustain it. Suppose you get admission to IIT or medicals. That's one part of your degree, right? It's not everything. Without that, also you cannot start. But once you're in IIT, you do all the masti, you don't pass any exams. Then what happens? You don't get the degree there, right? So one is to start the bhakti with the mercy of Vaishnava, and then to sustain the mercy. How you really adopt that instruction in your life. That's living that instruction. So starting bhakti, many people start the bhakti. Many people. If you go on Harinam Mataji in the city or anyone goes, many drunkard also, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They will laugh at you and they will also say Hare Krishna. They will dance with you for 2 minutes and then they will go away. Have they done bhakti? Yes. They've done bhakti, they've taken Krishna Nam, they've heard Krishna Nam, they've chanted for Krishna, they've danced for Krishna. But is that like a very sincere, serious devotee, advanced transcendentalist now? They're still drinking alcohol in the beer bar. But Krishna has put that 2 minutes in their account. I have to look at this person. That's starting. But then there's a sustain, and that's the major part. How you pass the IIT exam, how you retain your license. Manwan Prabhu was saying, Prabhu, ab padhai nahi hoti hai. 19 saal padhai kar li. 19 years I've been studying. Now it's too difficult. Why? Because he has to sustain the license. Prabhuji, correct me if I'm wrong. To sustain the license also, you have to every year work hard. I was speaking to one teacher yesterday. He's been teaching, I don't know, 40 years or something in Australia. He said, I also have to carry a license and maintain the license every year. And I have to do n number of hours every year. But they have to do it. In India, there's no such concept. Once you get Sarkari Naukri, that's it. Here, license, maintenance, this course, upgrade, this, that, so much. But you have to do it. Bhakti is also like that. There's not, my Guru Maharaj said, there's not one day, I got Krishna. The day you said that, Krishna is gone. So you have to maintain Krishna, and that means maintain your consciousness. And the day your consciousness fall down, Krishna says, bye-bye. I have so many nice devotees out there. Is that okay, Mata? If
yes,
I'm on the right
thank
path?
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, 32. Where I am. Now, so Prabhu, would you like to do? If Mataji is there with you, maybe she can do. If not, you can do.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We are doing 32, right?
Yes. Oh, you've done that. Sorry.
Yeah,
You've done
32,
this.
yes.
Next one, sorry.
Dhritayaya dharyate
Dhrityaya dharayate
manaha pranendriya kriya
manaha pranendriya kriyaha
yogena vyabhicharena
yogena vyabhicharenya
dhruti sa partha satviki.
dhriti sa partha satviki.
O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness.
Thank you. So now Krishna is speaking 3 verse on the dhriti. Dhriti means determination. So dhriti yaya dharyate. So dhriti, what does dhriti do? Determination do? Dharyate, dharan karti hai, sustains. Huh? So it says Sheshnag is doing dharan of Prithvi, or sometimes they say universe. Huh? So the dharan, dharyate. Huh? So what does dhriti dharate? What does dhriti sustains? 3 things dhriti sustains. Manaha, which is mind, prana, so prana refers to your prana vayu, and indriya, indriya refers to your senses, kriya. So these things do some kriya. Mind does some kriya, does some action. Pranendriya, prana vayu does some action, and your senses do some actions. So your dhriti, your determination sustains the action of these 3 things. Now let's give an example. If you are very determined, say on Ekadashi, and someone offers you a grain pizza. I cannot say the example of pizza. These days, devotees make everything Ekadashi. I used to say gulab jamun, but now I cannot say that example, gulab jamun. There's Ekadashi gulab jamun, Ekadashi pizza, Ekadashi pasta. So I have to add grain pizza. Suppose you are following Ekadashi and someone offers you a grain pizza. What will be your response? Nahi, nahi, right? But Prabhu, ek aur le do na. I went to some program recently. There's some kids like 10-year-old or something. They cut a cake for this child anyway, which is fine. That was a grain cake. So I said, please let everyone know that it's a grain cake. And if they want to take. So all the parents were following Ekadashi and the kids were like, I want this. So I said, are you sure? And there were like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. I said, are you sure it's a grain cake? He said, I will do Ekadashi next time. I really want to have this cake today. And then you can take this cake home and have tomorrow morning. It's already 8, 9 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock in the night. I said, you can take it tomorrow, Prabhu. Cake looks so nice. So you understand, your mind, not your mind, the kid's mind is saying, so the dharana, the determination is high or low? It's low, right? Because they're kids, that's fine, right? What to speak of kids, even sometimes adults also. Oh, Aj Ekadashi thi, I forgot. How can you forget Ekadashi? How can you? You don't understand the importance of Ekadashi. That's all. Huh? Like, do you forget to go to work? No, you don't. You don't get paid. You don't get paid. Huh? So, mana, prana indriya, prana are also controlled. Like some people can control their prana vayu. And that's how they sustain longer. Indriya, senses, the action of your senses is controlled by the determination. So if you are very determined, you can control. I'm remembering example of say Dhruva Maharaj. When he was doing his tapasya for the 6 months, everyone knows in Bhagavatam, we all have read it. First month, what he was doing, Mahasa Prabhu, what he was eating, you remember? First 3 months actually, it says in Bhagavatam. First 3 months, 4 months, 5th month, 6 months. Anyone
We just
remember?
had fruits, only fruit.
And the next month?
Only leaves.
Next month?
What?
I think it was water, and then it was
water.
air, and
Air.
then no air. Huh?
No
At the end of the
Yes.
6 months. And then demigods went to Lord Vishnu and said, please go. See, so what his dhriti was increasing. Now, how many of us can do on Ekadashi? First Ekadashi of 2024, only fruits. Second Ekadashi, only jal. Third Ekadashi, nirjala. And then no vayu. No one can do that. Huh? Our determination is not that strong. हम लोग Ekadashi कर लें वही बहुत है. खा पी के. We eat, 50 dishes on Ekadashi and then we're like, I've been fasting. Really? Really fasting? Ekadashi के दिन सबसे ज़्यादा खाते हैं. So, Anyway, it's a matter of I'm just giving an example, and no offense to anyone who is doing Nirjala and all that, all good. And even if you're eating, no problem. Prabhupada said, keep it simple. But the principle should be maintained. We should not overeat and do more seva on that day. So you understand that dhriti, yaya, dharyate, 3 actions by mana, by mind, by prana, and by indriya. Now, what these actions should lead towards? Yoga. So they can lead towards like Hiranyakashipu and Ravana as well. Ravana was also very determined. Was he determined? What's the word in Shastra? Stabdha, obstinate. But he was determined, right? In a negative way. Duryodhan. Someone is giving them Duryodhan, Ravana. Negative way. Vijay Gopal Mataji. Negative way. They were also very determined. Ravan controlled his indriya. Brakasur, Bhasmasur controlled his indriya. Like giving your flesh, body flesh. Is it easy? You have to be very determined. But the purpose was not yoga. It was viyoga. I will kill Lord Shiva. That was the purpose. What sort of determination is that? So yoga, what sort of yoga? Avyabhichari yoga. Anyone remembers the word avyabhichari used earlier? We all know probably that word by Bhagavatam as well. Anyone? And what's the brother of this word avyabhichari as per Bhagavatam? Where we have used this word earlier in Bhagavad Gita. So everyone is silent. इतना छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है, हम रिस्पॉन्स नहीं करेंगे. Such a tiny question. So 1426, Krishna has used this word, avyabhichari. For the bhakti, he has openly used in 1426. Avyabhichari's brother, sister is 1 to 6. Ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. First canto, second chapter, 6th verse. Ahetuki, bhakti should be ahetuki, no hetu, no business. Apratihata, and continuous, non-interrupted. So avyabhichari. Vyabhichari refers to, vyabhichar means debauchery. In English, they call it debauchery. One person goes to many partners, basically. Avyabhichari means opposite. One person is completely chaste. So chaste for what? Yoga. You understand? It's very, very clear. So bhakti, our bhakti should not be vyabhichari bhakti. When I need in August, I go to Lord Shiva. Sawan ka mahina hai, Sawan ke samvar karenge. In October, I go to Durga Mata. Ab hum Navratri vrat karenge. In December, I go to Santoshi Mata. In January, I go to this Baba. That is called Vyabhichari Bhakti. Jiske paas se jo benefited le lo. Whatever benefit I get from whichever Baba, Mata, Pita, just take it. That's not Bhakti at all. And it's Vyabhichari as well. Season pe jate hain. इस समय गणेश जी का सीजन है, सितंबर चल रहा है. We'll go to Ganesh ji and ask for material benefits. So go to Ganesh ji, go to Durga ji, go to Lord Shiva, no problem. But still do avyabhichari bhakti. Ganesh ji, Durga ji, Shiv ji, you're all Vaishnav. Give me that drop by your mercy. I can also become a Vaishnav. So that becomes avyabhichari bhakti. So yoga avyabhicharinya, dhriti sapat satviki. So you understand? So our determination should be in that direction where the action of our prana, indriya, and mana are controlled for what purpose? Avyabhichari yoga. Avyabhichari yoga. Okay. Yes, Sakhirat Kamataji.
Prabhuji, today Nitai Sevini Mataji was telling about Dhruv Maharaj, and she just a small point. She said that Dhruv Maharaj previously was a very big Bhagavatam reciter, and once what happened was he was like giving Bhagavatam, ready to give Bhagavatam, but there was this big time king who came, and he was like taken aback with awe and reverence that, wow, what a king. Just that much desire, material desire he had, just that much. And that's why he came and he got that king. So Krishna fulfills all the desires. We have to be very careful. So she said, if we are having a lot of material desire, write down and cut them off. Because it is like she said, you should have very less material desire. Try to, because Krishna takes it very seriously, everything. And if he's not fulfilling, that means that is very good. Then you should always thank that for what he has fulfilled and what is not fulfilled, because that's even better. So
yes. I'm very scared after listening that statement, Mataji.
I was also very scared.
If it takes care of so much detail, I would like better you not listen to me or my mind.
Yeah,
I'm safer rather than if you start listening to my mind. Bhakti Keshav Maharaj, he explained recently, and I think it's a Sridhar Maharaj's statement, which he translated in English. He says, more tears were shed on the prayers which were heard by God. More tears were shed on the prayers which are heard by God than those which were unheard by God. Because if God does not hear, many times they are useful for us. They are useful for us. But once he hears our prayer, like he responds back as we desire, more tears were shed. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says on top of this Sridhar Maharaj commentary, he said, the tears of a materialistic person, if you combine for all the lives, it's enough to fill an ocean. So we have dropped ocean full of tears in different lifetimes, because so many things we have gone through. So many things we have gone through. Okay, thank you, Mataji, for scaring us for a good purpose. I'm scared. Krishna, please do not listen my mind at all.
I am also very scared. Any desire also is coming from, like, I've been writing and cutting them off and showing to Krishna that I don't want this, I don't want this.
Okay. Let's help each other to cut down our material desires. There's just a tree like which never, you cannot uproot it. Very difficult. Anyway, one day. Yes, Sundar Gopal Prabhu or Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, in regards to Vyabhichari, and then when we said that, 1 day, 1 month we're going and doing the DT, Mata worship or other worships. So like, we also do in Navratri, as a family tradition, we've been doing Navratri as well. But obviously Krishna is in our heart more closer.
Yeah.
So is it wrong? Or is it, you shouldn't be doing it?
Okay. It's a difficult question, but I'll come back to Shastra because I shouldn't giving my opinion. Gopis also did Katyayani Vrata. After Magh Shisha, Katyayani, 1 month they worshipped Durga Devi. Early in the morning, they went, took bath in the pond, Jamna river, and they ate Havishya, which is unspiced khichdi. For 1 complete month, they were worshipping Durga Devi. So I think you get the answer. What was their purpose? Avyabhichari bhakti for Krishna. So you cannot say it's good or bad. But in general, we follow our acharyas. If our acharyas are recommending that, we do that. Like, I'll give you one very bold example. In ISKCON, we don't do Mahashivratri. None of the temples you will see. Now, do you think Prabhupada was not aware of that, the importance of the festival? Prabhupada praised Lord Shiva like anything. At so many places. In the 2nd chapter, you see Dhira Satanamuyati. Prabhupada gives the example of Lord Shiva in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. It says Parthimata was trying to provoke Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva did not get provoked at all. That is Dhira. So, and Lord Shiva is very important, but Prabhupada was very clear in his purpose, very, very clear in his purpose. Because if we start becoming, all these things introducing in our ISKCON, then what will happen? Slowly the trend may change. So what an individual does, we have no right to say anything, but in a principle, we just follow Krishna. Guru Maharaj said we should not even have deities of other demigods on the altar. And he explained that why. He said, you know very well, Aham Sarvas Matta Sarvam Pravatate, but one day you may think, maybe I should pray to Lord Shiva. And he gave an example, very beautiful example, which is given by Prabhupada. One Brahman was worshipping a Vishnu deity or a Krishna deity. And he will worship very nicely every day, but he was very, very poor, and he had this desire that I should, get some proper food and some other things in life. But he was always poor, always poor. So one day his friend suggested, after 20 years or so, maybe, see, I'm a Durga devotee. You should also worship Durga. You'll get all the opulence. His faith changed after 20 years. He got the Durga deity. He put the Krishna deity up on the shelf and put the Durga deity on the same altar, and he was worshipping Durga. While he was worshipping Durga, he was offering incense, he was offering arti. So, the incense smoke comes. He was so angry with Krishna. While he was offering incense, he stopped his worship and he went to the top cupboard. He took cotton, rui, and he put in the nose of Krishna. For 20 years, Krishna did not speak. That day, Krishna came in front of him. He said, Arey, why are you closing my nose? And he said, because I don't want you to even smell the incense which I'm offering to you. He had so much desire. And Krishna came in front of him. And then Brahman asked, but why did you come? 20 years I've been worshipping you, you did not come. Today I worship Durga and you came. Are you envious? Krishna said very nicely. He said, 20 years you did not consider me like a person. Today is the first day you consider me as a person. I'm in front of you. It's a great example for all of us. We should not worship our deity as like a statue or something. They are there. If you consider them as a person, they will consider you as a person. The Guru Maharaj gave this example and said, if you have, demigods on the altar, one day your faith may slip, I've been worshiping Krishna for 20 years. Nothing has happened. I still have this old 2-bedroom apartment, old Maruti Suzuki. Nothing happens in my life. Let me start praying to Lord Shiva. Let me start praying to Lord Ma Durga. So you have to be very, very careful. What happens to family tradition? Example comes in 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna goes to Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj says, I've been following my family tradition for millions of years. And Krishna says, Baba, the tradition which is not in Shastra, Hare Krishna. Okay, you consult with your seniors and take appropriate guidance. I can only give you the principle.
Because when we do it, it's also not for any material gain or anything, because the family also wants it, to make everybody happy. So what we do, we also pray to Durga Ma that you are the Mata for strength, give us Shakti so that we can do more seva for Krishna or devotees. So we try to do that and pray in that mode, not for any benefit or normally which people do for.
No, that's nice. That's definitely, but I'm saying before you even enter in that room, our acharyas have guided us. So once you enter into the room, obviously you're saying you do that, which is nice. Our acharyas are guiding, should we enter or not enter? That is also a discussion. So two things. Once you go somewhere, and then when you go, what you do? We are explaining the second step, which is very nice. And obviously devotees do that. You can bow down, no problem. You can pray, no problem. But there's a step before that as well. Okay. Let's move forward. Thank you, Mata. Very practical, nice question. Okay, 1834.
Can I recite, Prabhu?
Sure, Mataji.
Yaya tu dharma kamarthan.
Yaya tu dharma kamarthan.
Dhritya dharayate Arjuna.
Dhritya dharayate Arjuna.
Prasangena falakankshi.
Prasangena falakankshi.
Dhriti sa partha rajasi.
Dhriti sa partha rajasi.
But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna.
Thank you, Mata. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan. So what are the 4 charan of dharma? 4 purusharthas? Anyone? 4 purushartha? In Vedic culture, I mean. Modern culture is something else.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Thank you,
Dharma,
Prabhu.
Artha, Kama.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. But Krishna is using 3 words here. Dharma, Artha, Kama. So Dharma, Kama, Arthan. 3 words. So that dhriti, that determination, which is only after Dharma, Artha, and Kama, not Moksha. Why do we Dharma, Artha, and Kama? To achieve Moksha. As a standard I'm talking, right? But this dhriti is what it does. Dharma, Artha, and Kama is good enough. Moksha, who cares about Moksha? So they are not necessarily involved in sinful activities. We are not saying that. They are doing the acts which are not sinful, but they are not leading to Moksha, because that's important. So your action should lead to, now we say Pancham Purushartha Krishna Prema, but at least to Moksha. Now modern culture, what do they follow? So Vedic culture also, people were cutting the Moksha, the last bit of it. Modern culture, the first bit is also gone. Dharma is also gone. It's all about Kama and Artha. Paisa and sense gratification, isn't it? Also, Prabhuji, agree? How do we earn money? And how do we gratify our senses? That's enough. Dharma, who cares about dharma? कुछ भी करके पैसा कमाना है. And then नया TV खरीदना है और नई car, whatever, new car, new TV, whatever. Who cares about dharma? Who cares about the moksha? So modern culture is only lying on these 2 things. But Vedic culture, even the like a degraded people had dharma ke anusar. We have to earn money by dharma, by honest means. So yeah, to dharma. Dharyate, dhriti dharyate Arjuna. And two more things are given. Prasangena falakankshi. So they are Prasangena. Sangha word is always used with rajas. Moha word is used with tamas. And Sattvika is prakasha. Prakasha upajayate. Sardareshu deyasmin prakasha upajayate. Prakash, illuminate. The Sattvic people are illumined people. Now, Sattvic may not necessarily be transcendental. May not be necessarily transcendental. They may be very nice people, and we see many around. Prasangena phalakanshi. So they're always after the fruits. Fruit milega ki nahi. What is there? I'm doing this yajna for Indra because I need that fruit. That's why I'm doing. Not, they are not doing wrong thing. We're not saying they're doing wrong, but it's not necessarily leading to moksha and definitely not to Krishna prema. Let's read the last one. It's also very nice. Who hasn't read as yet?
I can do.
Okay, Prabhuji, please.
Yaya swapannam bhayam shokam
Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam
vishadam madameva cha
vishadam madam evacha
na vimuchanti dhurmedha
na vimunchanti durmedha
dhati sa partha tamasi.
dhritihi sa partha tamasi.
Translation. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination, O son of Pratha, is in the mode of darkness. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah, that one, Swapnam. So Swapnam refers to dreaming state. Now, dreaming has many meanings. Dreaming can mean oversleeping, for example, or oversleeping or over dreaming. Some people, they sleep and they dream a lot. Some people, they sleep and they say, I don't get any dream, or at least they don't remember that they get the dream. So Swapnam here refers to not just a literal meaning, which can be possible. It refers to much more than that. Swapna means they are always in a dream state. Dream state means, I'm just going to become millionaire tomorrow. My Jyotish has said, they are sleeping all day, and Jyotish has said they will. So it's dream state of life. So it can be a physical dreaming, or which means a lot of sleeping and oversleeping and all that. Now, sleeping is not bad. We are not condemning. We are just referring yuktahar vihara yukta chasta karmasu. So ahar and vihar, nidra, they all has to be balanced taken. Prabhupada said normally 6 hours. Some Maharaj, I think Raj Maharaj, or one said, I may be wrong. Anyway, Prabhupada decided, he said, you may take 8 hours of sleep if that's what is needed, but be productive after that. Suppose you take 6 hours of sleep and whole day you are asleep, you're not able to perform your activities properly. The point is, take whatever is necessary, not more, not less. Keshav Maharaj said, if you sleep too much, you become lazy. If you sleep too less, you become crazy. So we don't want to become lazy or crazy. We want to become balanced. Someday you may be very tired. You may need extra hour or something. That's fine. But the point is, just lying in the bed and just thinking all this future, this will happen, that will happen, nothing will happen. Manorat se kuch nahi hoga. You have to work towards it. Anyway, so yaya swapnam bhayam. Bhayam refers to, again, we discussed bhaya. There are 2 types of bhaya, healthy and unhealthy fear. So here, obviously, as per the context, we are talking about which fear, healthy fear or unhealthy fear. As per the context, unhealthy fear. These people are always, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? I'm speaking to someone like, what if? I said, stop this what if, let's do something and, be positive about it. Not again, we're not talking about foolish things here, obviously. Always fearful state. That's also tamas. Always fearful. For unnecessary fear. Come out of the room and, go for a fresh air. What if a bird stings me? There's no end to those unhealthy fears. Shokam, they're always in shoka, lamenting state. Vishadam, moroseness. Madam, illusion. Again, illusion in a different way, possible. Na vimunchati. Anyone remembers the vimunchati word used somewhere? Draupadi uses this word for Ashwatthama. Putana uses this word for Krishna. Muchate, muchate. Draupadi says, muchate, muchate means release Ashwatthama, release Ashwatthama. Putana says to Krishna, release me, release me, release me. But Amrendra Prabhu was saying, Thakur ji ek bar pakadte hain to chhodte nahi hai. Thakur ji ne pakad liya to pakad liya. And I was like, thank you, one day. Putana ko pakad liya, hame bhi pakad le. Like Putana ko pakad liya. He is grabbing Putana, but not us. We are worse than Putana or what? Anyway, we are not there as yet. As Sakhi Radhika Mata is saying, Dhruv Maharaj, he just did not become Dhruva just like that. He had so much history, so much history. I'm remembering another example, Vilomangal Thakur. He was such a great Bhagavad speaker. Vilomangal Thakur in the previous birth was very great Bhagavatam speaker. But he did a mistake and he got cursed. Ajamil, same thing. Huh? So we see so many examples where for a very little mistake, they have to come back and redo it again. But the next birth was so beautiful. Like none of us knows the previous birth, but we know this birth, like Dhruv Maharaj, Ajamil. We glorify them now. We glorify them for their super devotional deeds. Na vimuchari durmedhaha. Anyone remembers this word from Srimad Bhagavatam? Obviously opposite of this. Yajantihi sumedhasaha. 12th canto, 3rd chapter, I think 52 or 51 verse, where it says, whoever worships Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is sumedhasa. Yajantihi sumedhasaha. This is durmedha. Durmedha means bad dhriti. Dhriti se partamsi. Okay, let's move forward to sukha. So we'll become sukhi now. What's the connection between this word sukha, which Krishna has not mentioned so far? So what are the 5 terms Krishna has been discussing? So karma, karta, and jnana. So he discussed those 3 in the first 3 verses. Then he discussed about buddhi and dhriti, determination and intelligence. Now he's talking about sukha. So now buddhi should be done or is done in a way to achieve sukha, isn't it? Whatever your intelligence says, does it say you harm your body? Not commonly. Commonly, we use our buddhi to do something so that it gives us sukha, isn't it? So that's the connection. So we have talked about buddhi, a sustained buddhi, not a weak buddhi. As Guru Maharaj says, we are all devotees, but we are weak devotees. So he said you should become strong devotees. And how do you become strong, from weak to strong devotee? Any suggestions? Generally, how do you become from a weak devotee to a strong devotee?
Association.
Yes, definitely. Association is the key. In association, what do? Is a reading Shastra gives you a strong intelligence. Now again, reading is not in terms of theory. I know 200 verses. No. If you read Shastra and you sort of have realization, you really like it, then your buddhi becomes strong. Then the temptation come in front of you. No, grain pizza comes on Ekadashi. Hare Krishna, very easy. Very easy. No problem with that. When you have weak, pizza is so nice. Pakoda is so nice. Cake is so nice. Weak intelligence. So with the Shastra, it says, if you read Prabhupada books steadily means every day, you become sturdy. From sturdy, you become sturdy. Sturdy means muscle person. You become a muscle person by reading Prabhupada, not external muscle. Our buddhi becomes very muscly, very, very strong buddhi. We know exactly what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. So you understand the connection of all these? So sukha is the eventual goal. And we'll do the next connection after the sukha topic. So let's see sukha. Hare Krishna Jamati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
She always looks sukhi. So she's sukhi as well. She's sukhi with Krishna.
Yeah.
Guru and Krishna and Vaishnava. We're all sukhi. We're all sukhi.
Thank you. Read number 36, text 36. Sukham tvam idam. This is not
Idanim.
Tvidanim.
Break the words. Okay.
Yeah.
Idanim.
Idanim. Trividham. Sukham tvidanim trividham.
Sukham tvidanim trividham.
Shunu me bharata shabha.
Shunu me bharata shabha.
Abhyasad ramate yatra.
Abhyasad ramate yatra.
Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
O best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the 3 kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress.
Thank you,
Krishna.
So basically, you see, now Krishna is introducing the topic of sukha in 36 verse, and 37, 38, 39 will describe 3 types of sukha. So it's sukham tu idanim trividam. So now I will explain you. Shunu me bharata shabha. Hey Arjun, please listen from me. 3 types of sukha. If you practice that, abhyasad ramte yatra, if you practice that, dukha antam, the word is dukha antam. So what will happen? You let the miseries go. Cha nigachati. You will end all the distresses if you follow the right pattern. Very beautiful verse. So in nowhere else in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is sort of praising. He's saying dukhalayam shashvatam, and he's saying this will happen, but dukha antam is the first time he's using here. Maybe last one as well. So dukha antam. How dukha antam will happen? By abhyasa. And abhyasa for the right purpose. So let's see what those things are which Krishna is explaining. This is a very famous verse. Again, I'm not sure it's in your list. Whoever knows Sundar Prabhu or someone, it should be in your personal list. 1837. A very, very nice verse. Okay, who wants to read? Anyone? Vinay Prabhu, you're back. Hare Krishna. In your ashram, I can see your wall.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Jat tat agne visham eva.
Yat tat agre visham eva.
Puriname amritopamam.
Pariname amritopamam.
Tat sukham satvikam praktam.
Tat sukham satvikam proktam.
Atma buddhi prasadajam.
Atma buddhi prasadajam.
That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakeness one to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Yattat agre visham eva. So very simple English or Sanskrit Krishna is using. Agre. Agre means agraj, bada bhai. Agraj means first to come first. So in the first, what it feels like, visham eva. So eva, you understand? Eva like poison. It's not poison, it's like poison. So initially it feels like what? Poison. Very, very difficult. Pariname, but the end result is amritopamam. It's very beautiful, very, very beautiful. So initially it feels like poison. It sort of ends in amrita. And Master Prabhu is smiling very nicely. He's thinking some example. I'm also thinking some examples. So
Yes,
if you go
Prabhu,
to,
it is so true. It is so
it
true.
is so
It's
true, right?
it's a wonderful verse, really. It's
Very
nice.
wonderful verse. I love this verse. Not that I'm able to follow it, but it's very nice. It reminds me of so many nice things. So example given, if you go to a Vaidya, a doctor gives you a medicine, especially the children don't like medication. So the medication is good for them, but initially they will resist. Nahi khana, nahi khana, nahi khana. And mama will say, please beta, I'll give you chocolate after this, ice cream after that. And so Visham Eva, they look like that. And Master Prabhu thinking about Mangala Arti and all that. I was thinking Mangala Arti when I read this verse. Visham Eva, it's not Visha, but it feels like, abhi to soye the. I just slept, this alarm went off in the morning. So, agre, initially it feels like Visha, but what is the result? Parinamo amritopamam. In the long term, if you see, it's so nice. Even for material health, people are following this early morning get-up. What to speak of spiritual health, which is definitely our goal. Our goal is not material health. But even materially speaking, that's such a nice activity. They say, early to bed, early to rise, make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. So it's nothing spiritual in this line, but it's very good. So pariname, tat sukham satvikam prakam. That's a satvikam. And what does it produce? Atma buddhi prasadajam. That's very nice. Prabhupada translate. Atma buddhi refers to Atma buddhi, self-realization. So Prabhupada says, which awakens one to self-realization. That sort of sukha is known as sattvic sukha. Now, let's read Rajas sukha. The position changes of agra and parinam. The position will change. Anyone can read.
Can I read?
Yes, please.
Vishayendriya samyoga.
Vishay indriya samyoga.
Yattadagre mritopanam.
Yattad agre amritopamam.
Pariname vishameva.
Pariname visham eva.
Tatsukham raja samsmritam.
Tasukham raja samsmritam.
Translation: that happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end is said to be of the nature of passion.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So you can read a very simple Agre Amratopamam. Ah, what a pizza! What a gulab jamun. Manmohan Prabhu said, guys, only one gulab jamun a week. Chalega. Who knows? 8 gulab jamuns, and you go with the sugar reading of 300. He said, Kya chal raha hai? What's happening? Huh? So, Agre Amritopam. Now, gulab jamun, I'm just giving one example, and there are many gulab jamuns. Each one have a different gulab jamun in our life. We all have, certain weaknesses. We all have. Huh? Someone may be weak in eating, someone may be weak in money, someone may be weak in other things. Huh? So, Agre Amritopam, bahut acha lagta hai. It looks so nice. It feels so good. Huh? We know that word Shreyas and Preyas. You remember? Preyas is short-term happiness. Huh? I feel good. My senses feel good. So that is called Preyas, Priya. And Shreyas, long-term happiness. Huh? Long-term happiness. So although I may not feel very good right now, but it is Shreya for me, I should do that. So, and how do they come about? Vishay Indriya Sanyogat. You understand? Vishay means a gulab jamun in this case. Indriya means tongue. So when Vishay comes to Indriya, Agre Amritam. Kitna acha bana hai. Maybe one more, huh? So, and later on, I have kabz, I have constipation. I overate last night. So much prasadam, cholesterol, high blood pressure, and whatnot, huh? So we understand. Sorry, I'm giving some mundane examples here, but we all understand. So initially, when our indriya sees something, listens something, tastes something, smells something, sounds very nice, but later on, it's very, very visha, very, very visha for us. So that is rajas. Now let's read the tamas. Anyone? Second last verse of the day.
I can do it, Prabhu.
Sure, Mata.
Yad agre chanubandhe cha
Yad agre chanubandhe cha
sukham mohanam atmana
sukham mohanam atmana
nirdralasya pramodotham nidralasya pramadotham
nidralasya pramadotham
tattamasam udahritam. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be the nature of ignorance.
Thank you, Mataji. So now here is saying agre anubandhe cha. So agre in the beginning, anubandhe at the end. So from both ends is entangling activity. Huh? So initially also, in the end also. An example is drugs. So when people take drugs, even the initial beginning is just terrible. People, I'm remembering one example. I saw one guy was taking alcohol for the first time. It was terrible just to see him drinking alcohol for the first time in his life. Even that time when he is drinking, so I should say learning to drink is terrible. He's vomiting and all that. And then later on he said, no, I'm used to it. Like, thank you. You're telling very proudly. And I'm used to this jeher, this poison. I'm used to this poison. But first day was terrible for him. And I was like, even now your body is not accepting. Whole night he was vomiting. But everyone is drinking, so I should also drink. That's what the theory is. So, yad agre chanubandhe cha, very entangling activity, beginning and end. Sukham mohanam. So, this sort of sukha is only due to illusion. And we see that. And we were speaking about few of sukhas earlier. This purely illusion by hurting those living entities, and you feel sukha. The next is nidra. Nidra, we understand again, nidra, we're not condemning nidra here, just over nidra. Alasya, you're just lying around and doing nothing useful. Pramada, mada and pramada. Mada means pagalpan, madness, and pramada means super madness. Prakarshen mada. Prakarshen means puri tarah se pagal, complete pagal, not half pagal, puri tarah se pagal. Pramadotam tattam samudatam. That is definitely in mode of ignorance. Yes, Mahasi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, just in terms of the happiness and the end of the happiness, as to when the happiness will end, right? understanding that concept or the duration of the happiness, if you understand, what is the difference between verse 38 to 39 in terms of in the mode of passion or in the mode of ignorance?
The mode of passion,
Because
yeah.
in the mode of passion, in the mode of passion, it says there is a starting which tastes like nectar, and then it converts into like a poison, right?
Later
That's
on,
right.
yes.
But then here it says the person just continues it throughout his life, forgetting his self-realization at all, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
if you take the point that is blind to self-realization, is also there in 38, because
Yes.
there's no self-realization either there. So
Yes.
what difference does it make? How it
Okay.
is? What is the difference? Sorry, I need to know.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So the degree of the activities here are much lower than the degrees what they act there. So many times, as I said earlier as well, when you're talking about the dharma, artha, and kama, so not necessarily your sense gratification will be a sinful activity. Not necessarily. You may still be doing a yajna, for example, for Indra, and you want to go to heaven. Is it sinful activity? No, not really. But is it transcendental activity? No, it's not transcendental at all. It will have a short-term gain to you, but it's not sinful. It's not sinful. You have a short-term gain. You go to Indra Loka, live there 10,000 years or something, enjoy Nandanandan, Apsaras and all that, and come back. That's it. But you are not doing any dharmic activity. You are having a benefit of your body or soul for that period of time, right? And you feel good about it. You do it. Many people do it. What's the problem? And then you come back. That's long term we are talking here. So we're talking that in mode of passion. Now, when you're talking about mode of ignorance, from beginning to end, they're only hurtful activities. Like I gave the example of drugs. Some people take drugs. I've seen in movies or picture. They inject something in their hand, for example. What sort of sukha even in that point? Now, obviously, everyone feels sukhi, Prabhuji. When they take drugs, no experience, but they feel sukhi. Prabhupada had so many disciples, people around him initially, which were taking drugs. And Prabhupada asked, why do you take drugs? So they responded, we feel high. We feel high. So Prabhupada said, I will give you a better drug, so you will feel high forever. High forever. Not high for when you take drugs and for 4 hours you are high, and then you're lying on the nali, on the street, like a mad person. Prabhupada said, one person asked and said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what is Vaikuntha? So Prabhupada said, the response of Prabhupada, Vaikuntha is like an ocean of LSD. Now, which Shastra gives this definition of Vaikuntha? So that definition Prabhupada made so that people can understand what does Vaikuntha feel like. Vaikuntha feel like the ocean of LSD. And then they could connect what this man is saying. So you understand, very degrading activity. When you kill someone, for example, and you feel sukha, but that sukha is very, very ignorant sukha, very, very ignorant sukha. So that degree, the activities will vary. But one is a smaller sukha, and maybe within the dharmic circle, maybe not. I'm showing off, Prabhuji, my wealth to you. Am I doing any dharma? I'm a rich person. I show my car, I show my kurta, and I show my other things to you. But it's passionate. I'm trying to put you down. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu, it's good.
Yeah.
But one thing I just want to understand in other contexts as well is what was that? Isn't that if you are in the mode of passion, then it will degrade you to the mode of ignorance as well?
Definitely. We read in
So that happiness is not good because it actually degrading you further to the mode of ignorance.
But that's what you are analyzing, Prabhuji, because you have the sattvic buddhi. But people, that's what is correct, Prabhu. From sattva, they come down to passion, and then from passion, they come down to ignorance. And this cycle goes on and on. Sometimes passion takes over, sattva goes down, and tamas goes down. Sometimes tamas takes over. Sometimes sattva, like you may be a very bad person, but one day you give charity. One day, I feel like giving, 100 rupees for my birthday. I'll give charity to these poor people. That's a sattvic activity, right? So it keeps changing. But predominantly, what you said is correct. From passion, predominantly means general theme is from passion, you will fall down to ignorance. It will happen. And sometimes passion, sometimes you may show some sattva as well. Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. Now I know it's 6:02. I would like to do the last one because this is the end of the series. And then we are sort of done with this modes, and then we start the Varnashram from next week. So lucky last.
I can do Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mata. Bold one.
Na tad asti prithvya va
Na tad asti prithviyam va
divi dveshu va punha
divi deveshu va punah
Sattvam prakrita jair muktam
sattvam prakriti jair muktam
yad ebhid satya tribhir guna.
yat ibhi syatribhir gunaih.
Thank you. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. Right.
Na tad asti prithviyam. So everyone understands prithvi. Prithvi means in this loka where we are residing. Na tad asti. There is no one like that. And va divi. Divi refers to antariksha. Antariksha here refers to higher planetary system. So we covered middle loka, we covered higher. Deveshu. Even in the devata loka, no one exists. What no one exists for? Sattvam prakriti jair muktam. So sattvam here refers to not sattva like goodness, existence. There is no one exists in every three lokas here, which we are talking here, which is mukta of these three gunas. So basically, no jivas exist in this material realm which are free from these gunas. An example, I can give you one, and there are many more. Indra getting attracted to Ahilya, for example. He's a devata. He's not supposed to do all that. Like humans also not supposed to. But humans, okay, you will understand. They are humans. Even devatas are attracted. Devatas are attracted. Bali Maharaj, when he saw Lakshmi Devi after the churning of milk ocean, the purpose was, or the sentence was, are you married or unmarried? When they saw Mohani Murti, are you married or unmarried? Arey Baba, why are you asking this question? So the purpose was very clear. If you are unmarried, we can talk about it. So you go on a lower planetary system, higher, everywhere. No one is out of these three modes. So there is no being existing here. Here means Prithviyam. Among the demigods in the higher planetary system, in the Divi. Divi means higher planetary system, among the Devata, which is freed from these three modes of material nature. So the problem exists where? Only in Sydney, only in Australia, only in Prithvi, everywhere. The whole pond is messy. Whole pond is messy. Now, if the whole pond is messy, there has to be some solution. Now, Krishna, from the next section onwards, will start giving the solution of this ever-existing problem in the material world. No matter where you go, you will be under the modes of material nature. Okay, let's stop here. If you have any questions, we'll take. So 6th of December, Wednesday, we have the last class of this year. Yay! And then you're Mukta from Hemanga Chaitanya for next few weeks or maybe many weeks, depending on the Janta. So we'll see you all last day. Please try to make this last class. It will be nice to see you all, because I know after that many devotees are going overseas or having some break. Okay, let's stop here. Sundar Gopal, Prabhu, any quick important announcement?
No, Prabhu, that was the only thing
that was the only thing. Okay, one important actually just came to my mind. Assignments. So please finish your assignment. Sorry to say, Samaichi rule, no assignment, no sitting in the exam. Exam will be on 11th or 18th of February, which I have sort of written. I hope everyone has read that. So be ready around that, and we'll choose in January what's the best date. We can do in 11th, we'll do 11th, and then move on to the next three books. If 11th is not suitable for some reason, we can move to 18th. But please do your assignments, and I expect, ideally speaking, when we come back New Year, we should have assignments submitted. It's a small assignment. Everyone is looking upstairs. Okay, that's why I'm not putting a date on you. I know you're going on holidays, so enjoy your holidays. My heartily wish, but please take care of this part.
Assign two essays, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is it two essays or?
Yes. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, can you please sort of confirm this?
Yes, Prabhu.
I think,
5
okay.
into 10 total.
So he's my authority, Prabhu. Whatever he says. So if he's saying 2, must be 2. Sorry, bro, I can't remember. I don't want to give the wrong information, but
We said 10 total, so we did 5.
Okay.
For that and 2 this time. So
if I have said as per your instruction, you must be right. Okay, so 2 essays, Prabhuji's and Mataji's, and your 6 chapters, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, or we have done 3? I think 6 chapters, right? So 6 chapters, 2 essays. Please do soon. Don't forget it. And obviously, if you're doing holidays, you can't do. I totally understand. Don't want to interrupt it, but please keep this in your agenda. do it ASAP. As soon as you come back, or if you have some time somewhere, please squeeze it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhu.